So your confidence has to be so high up.
And some credit where it's due as well to those involved behind the scenes with the FC Pro competition format this year as DFernandes leads against DFernandes. 10 players put their ticket through the play-ins. That is unheard of. Previously there was 8, there was 4 before that. I think the year that, so there was 4 last year, there was 8 the year before when Anders Vergain became world champion. But 10 spots for players to still have the chance to get there, Grab. There's a lot of tickets.
It's a lot, but you had to push a lot because you had to push throughout the whole weekend of LCQ and play-ins, and you had to win so many matches, but they were able to do it. So not only that, but because some players qualified in the FC Pro format, and that was 6 months ago. Another ones qualified through the league stage.
Manu! 3-0 he leads. The world champion is looking quite like a world champion at the moment, isn't he? What a start in round 1 he's having.
Wow, it just seems like this man, when he turns up at the World Championship, he's unstoppable. I mean, 3 goals in just 15 minutes, Brandon.
One player we saw score as well, briefly in the replay. First time at a World Championships, Nasada. I had the pleasure of watching him in the Club Championship and the Virtual Bundesliga 1v1 individual season. One thing we've got accustomed to with him this season is that he loves the 4-4-2. Maybe not anymore, but he will score goals. And as it stands, he's actually 2-2 against Nasada, but it's only been 25 minutes in that game. And we'll just give an update as well to people at home that are trying to follow what is going on. There are 36 players competing as another update comes through here. That's Nicholas against RVP Legend. The 6 games that are currently underway right now are as follows. You've got Luke Weideveld against Hezers, Jafonzo against Schmalk, DFernandes, Levy de Veerd, Virgil Nasada, RVP Legend against Nicholas. And this game here, Manu Bashore against Karim is back. If you are following a certain individual player, I can see the chat in front of me right now. Let us know who you are supporting across the next 3 days. There's a lot of FC to get through, Grab, and there's going to be a lot of goals that are going across the next 3 days as we see Virgil's equaliser there.
It is a good goal for him, and we are going to see so many goals in here, Brandon. 6 matches at a time, and at this point of the game with 4 and 5 playstyles and the way those starts are working, they're going to be unstoppable in the offense. So we will see matches like this, as Manu Bashore scoring 3 goals in 20 minutes. And we will see, in my opinion, the offense prevailing against the defense of these teams. I would like to mention how both these players played against each other in the Illigan final. And Karim is back. Won the game, was 2-1, that make it 3-1 in the final, because it was a best-of-7 format. So it could be the revenge that Manu was looking for these past 2 months.
Well, I had the chance to look at previous matches coming up to this game as well, first round. There's only 2 players in this first round of games that have never played a competitive game against each other, as we see Nicholas tie the game up at 2-2 against RVP Legends. The only 2 games in this round, DFernandes, Levy de Veerd have never played before in a competitive game. They meet for the first time in the World Championships, and Jafonzo against Schmalk. But I mean, that's probably rightly so, because Schmalk came from nowhere. I mean, I spoke to him before the East Serie A finals in Napoli, and he said, look, a few months ago I was thinking of jacking it all in. Next thing you know, he's at the World Championships.
That's the thing with the game right now. I mean, if you're good enough, it could take you just the chance of participating at a league, which is not easy, but if you get the chance to play at La Liga, at Italy, the Illigan, at the Premier League, you could make it into a World Championship. Wow,
Sama. Ho, ho, ho. There's going to be a lot of talk about her across the next 5 days. The Barcelona winger, Salma, once again. I mean, she was the hero in the last chance qualifier, wasn't she? We saw in the play-ins, and there's no surprise that a lot of the players that are already in the World Championships, Grab, that looked around what was being used in Paris just over a week ago. And why wouldn't you put half the players in the team, such as Nazareth in there as well? Kika Nazareth, she'll be leading the line for a lot of players. Spoke to Anders Vergain yesterday, and Manu Bashore, they're both in agreement that that is the striker to use as he scores another
one.
And he is 4-1 up now.
It's just the combination of the body type, the accelerate type, the play styles, and the stats. I mean, she's just the total package. Why wouldn't you use her when she's arguably the best winger in the game.
My question for you, Grab, is we're at an interesting stage of the year. We're seeing a lot of hype about FC27 already, the front covers, the potential trailers, of course, in the next coming days, and everyone's getting really excited. For these players here, how hard is it knowing that the last event that we were at, E-Champions League in Budapest, end of May, it's nearly about, what, 6 weeks or so that a lot of these players haven't played. Does it favour someone who's come through the last chance qualifier of players like Oberon? As we saw last year, Manu Bashure came through the play-ins, won the World Championships. Those players have had that little bit more time to play here in Paris and come accustomed to it.
I do think it's easier for the players that qualify through the LCQ and play-ins, such as you mentioned, Oberon, which, I mean, he was part of the commentators' booth in the ECL, he did an amazing job, Oberon, and then 2 months later, he's in here playing, qualifying,
كريم مسكين خاسر الماتش ديالو ب4 ولكن نصاده رابح. نصاده رابح ب3-2.
It's not the same as getting in here and getting into the competition, and I mean those LCQ matches
further back to like January. And they did also compete against each other last year in the virtual Bundesliga Grand Finals as well. Nasada won that one 8-7. They always do seem to have these tight games.
Right, here's an update. They've never played before. And DFernandes was leading his 3-2. Levy has got one back. We heard from Renzo at the top of the show.
الماتش ديالنا صاده في لاكبوز سالاو الشوط الاول على ما يبداو رجعوا له. هنا كريم خاسر كونتر مانو هو البطل ديال العام اللي داز، دونك ماتش صعيب عند كريم، خسر 4-1. ولكن ماشي مشكل، هذه غير لافاز ديال لو جروب، يقدر مازال يرجع. او دوماج، اش من دوماج. كريم هو اللي لابس الكحل جوبونس، ولا ما عرفتش من داك اللون. مانو هو الابيض. اوكي، نصاده بدا الماتش ديالو، رجعوا لنصاده نتفرجوا حيت هذاك الماتش قريب شويه. 3-2. اوبس بابا. نصاده لعب بالكحل كونتر فيرجيل. اوه هادي صعيبه. برافو نصاده، جي.
And of course, with it being the Esports World Cup as well, there is the Esports World Cup Club Championship, which plays a big factor into all of this. For those clubs that have signed.
سير نصاده، سير اخويا الرابع، سير نصاده.
But now as Nasada comes forward again with Dembele, a chance to try and maybe get a 2-goal lead here. He's not been able to find it all game, which is always going to have him a little bit concerned that Virgil just is so close at getting that equaliser.
نقي البيت.
2-goal cushion would be
الرابع.
this game. And one out to Sancho.
ضيع.
Wow. Should have been a goal.
شي مشكل، هاي مازال الحال.
And again the goalkeeper
تزيد البيت.
In the
Nasada starting to knock on the door a little bit though.
سير نصاده اخويا، سير نصاده. نايس معلم.
And again it's a save.
نصاده الضغط بزاف هنايا.
Dembele now, a nice little player lock to try and see if Musiala can make that run. He is just waiting, biding his time, hoping that Virgil's going to make a mistake and step up a little bit too far.
اوه كريزي، برافو نصر.
جي. You're able to beat Casillas. And there is that 2-goal cushion.
نصر 4-2.
Nice low driven. Virgil a little shaky, both in game and on camera as well. Nerves kicking in. I'm sure that the Argentinian, even those players that have been competing for quite some time, these first matches are always the worst for nerves. Certainly when I used to play, I hated the first matches. I used to struggle to get my breakfast down. I was so nervous. It wasn't until after I'd played my first match I could eat. A lot of these players now, they have the coaching staff behind them. And that's a ball behind the defense as well, but tries to drive it across goal.
الصوت مديكال شويه بارابول الصوت الصوره ولكن
I'm sure he'll think back
ما
towards them if
يقدرش.
he doesn't actually find any points here in this game. Nice pass once more. De Bruyne.
صعيبه. اوه نايس اوف سايد.
Someone into McTominay, but I think he was offside and he is. Ruho brings it down, plays it into Dembele now. Quick passing with Musiala, back out to Saka. And it is so beautiful, but Casillas quick off his line. Great football being played here by Nasada though, as he's starting to get even more comfortable with this lead.
اوكي دونك هنا خسرت البال.
McTominay and Bellingham.
جي دفاع واعر. اوه لا ما تعطيش اصاحبي. ما تعطيش اصاحبي
Get back
الكورة.
into it, and that's the perfect chance. Saka finds the goal. That is a gift.
دوماج.
And Virgil knows
عطا
it,
كورة.
but after
فابور
having the rubber
نص
streak a
هذا.
little bit earlier by hitting the bar,
سباقا ماشي مشكل.
he feels like that's just.
كريم رجع في الماتش ديالو 4-2 دابا خاسر. الفرق غير ديال جوج البيوت يقدر يرجع. هو عنده العوارة
20
كاين.
minutes is still quite a fair amount of time, especially with the time increase on halves here in the FC Pro World Championship compared to your average game of FC that you would play, which would just be 6-minute halves. These are longer. Asada still has that goal lead though.
سير انا صادع.
It's that cushion he's given himself, and maybe he'll be able to find it again. Defenders though, able to block.
نايس.
Defenses are an entirely different.
نكونترولي الكرة مزيان غير هو كيدير بعض الاخطاء بعض المرات. هذه بيت هذه. لا كيضيع
Actually, they were
بزاف.
going with the dribbling, but again the keeper is
كريم
good.
تماركا عليه البيت الخامس دوماج 5-2
Both
خاسر.
players have been very reactive with their keeper movement, bringing them off the line.
صعيبة
A
صعيبة.
chance for the Virgin.
صعيبة هذه.
Final equalizer here. Saka just needs to beat one. Players are in the middle as well if he can find the pass, but actually he's just going to keep going all by himself. What a goal!
دوماج.
A huge equalizer for Virgil.
تعادل.
Beautifully worked. So confident on the ball.
نصاد خصو يزير شوية في الدفاع.
And after all the hard work for Nasala to take that
اوكي
lead.
هنا ديونغ باصة واعرة. هذا البيت لو دريفن ما دازتش.
Consistently finds himself ahead. Oh wow.
سبيان ماشي مشكل برافو.
Almost finds the net.
اوكي هنا كورة كيلعبوا اون غوتخيلور. ديفيس.
All the way to the edge. Davies
Tembe.
actually going to pick this one up at the edge.
McTominay موسيالا.
McTominay
اراوخو.
doesn't want to take the long
عنده
shot.
الوقت عنده
Try
الوقت
and work
شوية
this one
عليه.
in. Player switching to try and give Arujo a little bit of help here.
ساكا.
Good movement from
McTominay.
Virgil just to be able to cut.
اوه ساكا مزيانة. كريزي برافو نصاد ليتس جو.
That one, no, and you can't deny
برافو
it.
نصاد معلم.
And Nasada taking the lead just seems to be inevitable every single time. They are back to square one. Straight back into the tactics screen then for both. Very frustrating, I'm sure, for Virgil after working that hard to get back to 4-4. And then actually, defensively, he was doing well. He was cutting off those lanes, but it was just well picked apart. Notice that gap, did Nasada. And his finishing has been on point too. So 20 minutes left then. For Virgil to try and find another goal here to take us back to even Stevens.
نصاد دابا خصو يلعب بالعقل.
Very well under pressure.
بقى 4 ساعة.
But you feel like if this is
ايوا
Now that's a
نصادا
2-goal lead for Nasada.
ايوا البيت
Maybe it's a little bit too much.
ايوا
for Virgil to come
السادس
back into.
كيتسرع
Release,
شويه
one more into
في الهجوم.
Sancho, Yapstam's there. This is where it becomes a little bit dangerous. These counter-attacks are always deadly. Bellingham going to stride forward. Plenty of white shirts to work with here. Again, does have
Nice.
time, doesn't need
دفاع
to do
زوين.
it. Bellingham can't quite connect with it. Now for Nasada, there's always going to be the thought of just holding on to that possession a little bit more. Denying some time on the ball for Virgil. And just reducing those chances for him to find that equaliser.
ايوا
That
ذا
being
البيت
said, he
هذا.
can find that extra goal.
اوه
Sancho
كريز.
now, and it is just going to
لطفة.
collapse onto the side.
لطفة لطفة.
Hits the post in the end. I thought it was just going to dribble in.
ايوا نصادا سير اخويا
It just fell apart as now.
سير البيت ليتس جو.
Trying to find
معلم
the second goal. Here
نصادا.
we go. Slots it underneath the keeper.
6-4.
11 minutes remaining, a 2-goal lead. Nasada is going to start to feel pretty comfortable about this one. The low driven in the end was how he beat the keeper. To be honest, had the keepers not been as good as they would been, then we probably would be looking at like 10 plus goals. But some fantastic saves being made by Casillas.
ساكا هنا كيدير دي شونجمون.
So it becomes do or die now for Virgil. Obviously not the end of the world if you lose your first match of the day, but if you want to be able to get into the top 8 in advance to the round of 16 without having to play through playoffs, can't really have too many losses. Realistically, anything more than 2 losses, you're not going to be able to make top 8. So then you're looking at just trying to secure yourself into the knockout round playoffs. Let me tell you, those days will be long when we get to the knockout round playoffs as well
10 دقائق
for these players.
بقى لنا صدى. يدافع غير مزيان
Stamina as well as
وغاي
skill.
ربح 3 نقاط ديالو الاولى في التورنوا.
So 10 minutes then for Virgil. Some tactic changes, I'm sure, to play a little bit more aggressive here. But that is going to leave him vulnerable at the back.
سير انا صديق يقدر قاعد بيعمرو. كريزي كريزي. واو فنان فنان
There's the 7th.
فنان يا نصادا.
And perhaps that might be job done now here for Nasada. And this is where some of those score lines can start to increase a little bit in what has been a very closely contested and hard-fought game. And you start looking for those goals to try and get back into things. You leave yourself a little bit vulnerable.
7-4 وغالبا نصادا غياخد 3 النقاط الاولى ديالو في دور المجموعات.
That being said, there is still time for a comeback, especially if you can find a goal here. Vicky trying to turn around, see if you can get round the structure of Yapstam, but Yapstam is there, like the castle that he is. Well won by Laporte. Bellingham now plays one.
اوه صعيبة هادي. دوماج ماشي مشكل. 7-5.
Nasada a little scratch of the head saying would prefer that one not to go in. 5 minutes still going. 2 goals needed in 5, not impossible. Definitely seen
5 دقائق باقا. نصادا رابح بجوج الفرق. يلعب بالعقل دابا يقدر يجري الوقت ديالو ويربح الماتش.
If you can win the ball back from kick-off here, score on the counter, it becomes very nervy for Nasada. Of course, you want to be able to pick up the 3 points here. You won't have to share them. What does Virgil have left in the tank then? Any last minute surprises for us as Nasada goes straight into the possession game.
نايس. نصادا غير يجري الوقيته ديالو يجري الكرة
Eat away at that
ما
clock
يعطيش
a little bit.
الكرة لفيرجيل وغيربح ان شاء الله. نايس نايس نايس، مدور كرة مزيان بالعقل، برافو. ويلا شديتي في شي كونتر اتاك علاش لا.
A possession game now for Nazada.
برافو نصاد.
Frustrating Virgil a little bit, unable to even get his hands on the ball or his feet on the ball, I guess.
اوكي دونك هنا كيعطي كرة ديجا
One
الدقيقة
up to the
90.
goalkeeper.
صعيب فيرجيل يرجع في هاد الوقيته هادي.
Get a considerable amount of added on time here.
جوج دقائق
Probably done.
امبوسيبل
2 minutes.
يرجع
Sadly, even
فيرجيل.
if you find a goal here, Nazada would probably just hold on to the ball.
برافو نصادة، جيجي 3 النقاط الأولى لنصادة، برافو عليه.
Inside Davies though is far too comfortable at left back.
كريم غالبا خسر الماتش ديالو، ولكن برافو عليه تا هو لعب كونتر شامبيون دي موند.
Consolation goal on the line. Davies again.
جيجي نصادة، برافو. أول وين؟ أول 3 نقاط. 7 و5
Take all the points in the first match of the day here.
كونتر فيرجيل.
And sadly for Virgil, Nazada just seems to be his bogey player at the moment. But wow, yeah, our first game is done and dusted. Hi, I'm Dan Gaskin. I'm going to be commentating. Yeah, an exciting tournament here for the FC Pro World Championship at the Esports World Cup of 2026.
نرجعو
It's interesting because all these players
اللايف الرئيسي باش نشوفو لي ريزولطات الماتشات الأخرين. نديرو هذا غير بوز، بليتو نحيدو له غير الصوت.
But most of these players will be scoring, and it's such a simple method of scoring, but it's just the angles that your midfielders can give you, especially that man. And there, Jude Bellingham.
Wow. Playstyles 98 rated as well.
كليفي هنا ربح 7-5.
That's the goal from DFernandes to make it 6-7. So Levy not done yet.
مازال مسالش الماتش،
Referring to the scoreline there, right?
Yes.
ولاو دابا 7-6. نيكولا هنا ربح ب5-4.
Pass coming in, arguably from Nico.
هنا دي شونجمون تاكتيك في الماتش ديال نيكو.
Historically, he doesn't start well. World Championships. On day 1, day 2, he usually suffers, Brandon.
I don't know if you can remember back in 2023 when Mane Bishore became world champion, the first time we were in Saudi Arabia for a world championships. He was in the same group as Anders Vergang, Mane Bishore. He didn't make it out that group. He always has a difficult group run. I mean, one positive he'll have is that he's not in a group, but he is in a league phase.
It is true. It is true. I mean, back in 2022, even though he made it into the final, that day 1 was catastrophic for him. He lost every single match. So I feel like it's really important for him to get a win, just to kick the ghosts away.
Let's also not forget as well that Anders Vergang was eliminated in the group stages last year as well. Obviously, that's a very different format this year, but Fakir, who was the lowest ranked player from Morocco, I mean, proved that anything can happen. I know he did lose in the following round, but he still knocked him out.
Anything can happen in here at the FC26 Pro World Championship, and I'm curious to see how some players are going to perform. I mean, I do want to see Ilian Bushi today, because he's been grinding for the last 3-4 years and he finally made it. One of the few players that
ليفي هنا كيحاول يضيع الوقت.
In the first ever time they've matched up here, Graf, 14 goals in it so far. Levy was actually trailing in this game a couple of occasions. What a turnaround from him. I mean, showing the pedigree that we know from the Dutch player of Team Liquid. Added time, just a minute to follow. DFernandes, if he gets it, probably will be nothing more than a consolation. That looks like Team Liquid are going to be off the mark in the right
كريزي
form. Mane with a
دريبل
win.
وار.
And
دوماج هادي ما تماركاش. مقلق. جي 8-6. هنايا نيكولا كيتعادل معاه اير في بي 5-5.
see Nicolas, who knows it's time to turn up, because after leading the whole game, he cannot afford.
كان ربح بجوج الفرق.
Last kick of the game for him.
Remember, this is the league phase. There are draws. There's not an extra time situation. It's the top 24 you need to be in out of the best 36 that are here at the World Championships.
اوه رد له كرة هنا. وات صدق عليه كرة. نيكولا جاب البيت السادس وغادي يربح هذا الماتش. MVP مارك البيت باش يرجع حتى يصدق عليه البيت باش يخسر. علام ولا اي مارك عاوتاني ولا حمر وكريزي 6-6. هذيك ورا صافي طفى الكاميرا كيتعادلوا. كريزي نيكولا ضيع ربح. وير في كوم ضيع ديك الكره كان يقدر يربح يجيب الوين. لا
Wow, that is round one done. Or part of round one done, I should say, here in Paris. We're off for a quick brief. When we get back, the games continue. Wow.
Brandon Smith here alongside 3 of our FC Pro finalists here at the World Championships of Esports World Cup. Smork, Paolo Neto, PH in. How are we all?
Oh, good. Fine.
Good. You're good at the moment, right?
Yeah.
But in a few days' time, you might not be so good. But you might be really happy because you might be a world champion, potentially so. Guys, we are here to test your knowledge on EAFC 26 items, especially off the back of one of the biggest football tournaments in the world. There's been a lot of promo items, of course. Very simple, the way this game is going to work. You simply got to tap the buzzer. It's going to make this noise. And then you've got to guess. Let's kick off with round 1 of Guess the FC 26 item. Here we go then. Right, we're kicking off. What design is that? What promo is it?
The World Cup one.
It's the Star
Performer.
The Star Performer,
okay.
All right? He's got 92 dribbling. Can we show a little bit more, if that's okay? Right, from here, any guesses? Remember, you've got to hit the buzzer if you want to have a guess. We'll show a little bit more if we can.
No way.
Paolo Neto.
Alan.
It is Erling Haaland. We'll show you the first few hints. Who is that?
No. I have no clue.
Harry Kane?
Is it Harry Kane? It is Harry Kane. Paolo Neto is flying. Right, here we go. Next one. Still the same item design. We'll give you another.
Messi.
Is it Lionel Messi? No, it's not.
Oh.
Dembele?
Oh no. The dictator, Mbappe.
It is Kylian Mbappe. Still the star performer. We'll have a few more stats. He didn't even know it is, does he?
I don't know.
7.
Maybe Saka?
It's not Bukayo Saka. A little bit more.
The goat.
Yeah.
The goat.
Any more?
Messi.
Messi. A few more
wait,
stats,
wait.
please. Oh, was. I'm going to leave that to Smork.
Yeah.
Wait. Is it Dembele?
It's not Dembele. We'll have a next round of clues and someone's going to get on it.
No, Paolo Neto.
Oh, Lamine.
Lamine Yamal. Let's have some stats. It's a goalkeeper. He's a goalkeeper.
No, you.
Courtois?
No.
Go, go!
No, no. If you want, you're free to go now.
Alisson.
It's him.
Alisson.
Allison. This is where it gets really tricky. I'll be honest, I don't even know who this one is.
Impossible.
Silver.
More.
I think we need more stats.
More.
We need a bit more. Right, we'll stop there.
This is Bobby. Sheldrup.
I want to say. No, 2 guesses. Bob Sheldrup.
No, Sheldrup. Let's go.
Sorry.
Let's go. I'm smart.
Scores on the doors.
He was.
How many points did you get, Smork? 1, 2, and our winner. Give a round of applause. Paolo Neto. I mean, he knows his stuff about Ultimate Team. Will he know his stuff on the pitch in the FC Pro World Championships?
Let's see there, but can I get an advantage because I won the game?
You what?
An advantage?
An advantage? What, a better group? What, a better seeding?
No, extra point.
No, we can't do that, unfortunately. Anyway, that was the FC26 Ultimate Team quiz with these three legends. Good luck, of course, in the competition this week.
Thank you.
It's certainly going to be heating up here in Paris.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
اوكي دونك الماتش الجاي كريم خسر غير ب5-3 دونك قدر يماركي الثالث. برافو عليه لقاش لا ديفيرونس البيوت مهمه بزاف. دابا عنده -2.
We just witnessed an epic start to our show. An excellent commentary, by the way. I understand why he won Commentator of the Year 2 years ago. Shout out to my man, Brandon. In the meantime, we got to discuss everything we just witnessed because we had several games start off with 5-2 scores. One of them ended with a draw. But if you're Team Liquid, I feel like you won this opening hour of action. Both of your players walking away with 3 points each. Gentlemen, what are you most proud of? What you witnessed here in the opening hour?
I mean, I have to touch straight away on that game with Jafonso. That is a huge game, a fantastic result, of course, for the man he faced. But, I mean, from a Jafonso perspective, we'll come to it in a little bit, but he missed chances in that game. There was a lot of goals. That was typical FC. That is FC at its best because throughout this week, we are going to see so many goals. We can look at the results.
Is Small going to be the problem for some of these big names?
Well, listen, we didn't really give him much of a chance, to be fair, at the start of it, but you saw how much it meant to him, Shells. And from a Jafonso perspective, he faces Anders Vergang later on in this league stage. But next up for him is his Man City Esports teammate, Matti Bonanno. I mean, you could be looking at the prospect if he loses that game to Matti, he could be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, of course. I think for Jafonso, the first game against Smoke, disappointing loss, and he had a couple chances. He was trailing a couple goals, brought himself back into the game, and he missed a crazy sit in the 90th minute. So he got a bit unlucky there, but he still has a chance to redeem this.
We've got so many more games to go. Reminder, the bottom 12 will be eliminated at the end of Friday. For now, though, I think both of these gentlemen are probably moving forward. We got Nicholas on the stage with Case, our awesome interviewer.
Right, guys, I'm joined by the Iceman, the man who has competed in the most world champions here. It is Nicholas99FC. All right, we have to talk about that first round because it was quite the roller coaster. You were leading the majority. You scored in the 91st minute. He equalized against RVP. How are we feeling? Because it was quite the heart-wrenching match.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, but I have to say this game is so bad. It's all about momentums and stuff. I was winning 5-2, so easy, but then I couldn't move. No about connection or something, just momentum. But then when he equalized, was a kick off my side, kick off on his side, and yeah, that's it.
All right, well, next round is up against Mano Bashore, reigning world champion. What is your mindset?
الماتش الجاي ما يلعبوش المغاربه.
I mean, yeah, it will be tough, you know, this kind of competition and also with this new format.
دونك الماتش الجاي ديال مروان مازال شويه.
The good thing is it's like step by step, so let's see.
Now, you've won trophies all throughout the world, different leagues, but this is one of those competitions that you haven't gotten in the bag yet. How important is being a world champion to you, winning this week?
I mean, the thing is like maybe
كل لعابه يلعب جوج ماتشات اليوم. وكريم خسر الماتش ديالو الاول. مازال عنده ماتش كونتر ليفي. نصر ربح الماتش ديالو الاول ومازال له ماتش كونتر داني.
this is my ninth world championship.
مروان يلعب ماتش
so I
جاي
think,
كونتر
at least
بريس
less
الفرنساوي
pressure maybe because I
والماتش
tried
الثاني كونتر
many
دي
times,
فرنانديز.
but yeah, let's see. I think I deserve it, but you need to go and win it.
All right, well, we'll have to see if you're able to lock that one in. Next match is up against Mono, so I'm looking forward to that one. I will let you get back to those preparations. Sending it back to you guys.
Awesome stuff, Case. Thank you very much, and congratulations to the draw from RVP down 5-2. He was able to tie it at 6-6. Gentlemen, Nicholas said he's been at 9 world championships. Has he ever raised the trophy? No. Do you think it's because he's blaming the game instead of revisiting how he lost a 5-2 lead?
Look, I mean, I think we're watching a player in RVP. I think we should focus on what he did.
Okay, let's go positive instead of the drama.
Nicholas speaks for himself. He's the Iceman for a reason. He's one of the goats of the scene. He's been at 9 world championships, more than anyone else before.
Without a win.
RVP legend, though, by the way, through the play-ins. You know, he's somebody who's been here for a while now. He's played on this stage. To come back against someone of the stature of Nicholas within the scene, that's massive for him.
Yeah, and even the way how the game unfolded, Nicholas scored in the 90th minute and we thought that was wrapped up. No celebration from Nicholas, no surprise there. And I'm thinking, how is he not reacting at all? RVP goes down the other end and he's equalized. And that's what RVP does best. He scores goals. And when he's in the box with Dembele, shoot, and he managed to get an equalizer there.
Can I give you guys shout outs? Because you told me to look out for the boys from Liquid. Both walk away with 3-point wins. Nasada, who is written down on my card, walks away with the win. I think Hezers was another player you guys called out to win. The big surprise, Small walking away with that upset over Nicholas, or did you think this was going to happen? How did you see it playing out?
وكان ترتيب 8 الاولى ديريكت ممكن يدوزوا لدور 16 دونك عندك لافونتاج الا جيتي من 8 الاولى، ولكن اللي جا من 9 حتى 24 كيتأهل لدور 24 غيكون نوك اوت ستيج بحال الشكل ديال الشامبيونز ليغ.
One thing I will say, we have to give a shout out to Hezers because you know we've seen him in clips and we don't say it.
اوكي دونك هذا الماتش دابا غنتفرجوا
He's also incredible
فيرغانغ
game as a whole. He's improved so much.
ديال فالكنز. واش كاين دوساري؟ كاين ام اس دوساري. لا ام اس دوساري ما لعبش دابا.
And just to confirm, you are going to play 6 matches. We can only play 6 matches on our 2 stages at any one time. So as you mentioned, this leaderboard is going to shake up. Anyone that you expect to be able to go perfect. Can anyone in this tournament
دوساري يلعب حتى الماتش التالي. دونك دابا نحاول نتفرجوا في الماتش ديال فيرغانغ.
I'm pretty sure went undefeated in the first stage of the Champions League. He didn't win it this year, but he is Mr. Champions League himself. But I think there's a few players that can, but it depends on your fixtures as well, because I'm pretty sure Emery has to take Anders up in the
فيرغانغ يلعب مع ريد لاك.
Yeah, we're looking at some of the highlights here. There was this game with Nicholas as well, the RVP legend one. I mean, look, to go perfect in this league stage will be fantastic, but the reality is we do play knockout FC at some point in the week. So the reality is, if you're in an ideal world, what you want to do is you want to try and get in that top 8, get through to the last 16, and hopefully it puts you in a really good stead. But I don't personally think anybody is going to go.
Okay.
I want to give it. Think anybody is going to go perfect.
It's a low odds, right? That's why I asked if there was a favorite to do it. Quick question though, because I saw in the chat, is this a true theory? Defense is a myth. You truly just have to.
جافونس خسر الماتش ديالو ب 8-7 كونتر الطلياني.
I think it's gone to an attacking game. I'm a bit of a defensive man myself. I don't like these high scoring games. I ain't got the heart for it. I'm getting too old. I think in this new era, you've got to be able to score goals. And I know it's the most cliche thing. The more goals you score, you know, you're going to be your opponent. But yeah, you got to have these 8-7 games in your lockers, and if you want to be one of the best FC players in the world.
There was an 8-6 finish for Levi, and of course, a celebration from Renzo, who is on our show at the start of things. Multiple coaches, multiple players, and Hezers is definitely going to be one of our players to watch.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, great start for him. A lot of goals for him as well. From a perspective, I mean, that's the.
Hezers كيلعب طلياني.
Absolute fire. He's a confidence player.
Crazy.
It's a great start for him. I mean, look, we're going
ربح ب 6-2.
two ways about it. Whether you're losing heavily, these are 9-minute halves of FC. We're going to see goals for both players.
Yeah, I think for Jesus as well, the big thing for him is he's always been a guy that can score goals, but like I said, this year he's really changed his defensive style, and I think he's got the ability now to really kind of claim the trophy.
After watching our first round of action, let's talk about some of the key features we expect to see in almost every game. Our players are given how much coin to spend?
15 million budget.
Yeah, so you can get some nice pieces on your roster. Who have you seen in almost every roster? I've seen Messi on the field. It looks like a lot of Jude will be played today.
You know what? When you're looking defensively, everyone seems to be using Maldini. There's a lot of players who are using Maldini. I think Anders is the only one who's using Maldini at left back.
Yeah.
That item, I mean, play styles are super important on the game. So each item has separate play styles. Maldini just looks like a dream. He's been absolutely incredible throughout.
Yeah, Maldini as an item, I think the playstyles are number one important thing in the game, and I think for defenders, you need to have that gold intercept playstyle because that will just help you win the ball back. You see how hard it is to defend already, but with that playstyle as well, but Maldini has, I think, 97, 98 reactions, so he's just able to jockey a bit better on the ball. But it's a playstyle game. You're going to see a different number of items being used across the board.
Well, speaking of some of the greats, Anders is going to be playing here on day number 1. And if you don't know the man who already has 4 world championships or 4 championships this year, he's going for his 5th here at EWC.
Right, guys, I'm joined by Anders Verjgang.
ما الصوص هذا داير بحالك.
Champion Anders, I know we've spoken a lot before about how you practice for competitions. Sometimes there's not a lot involved, but tell me about the preparations for this tournament.
Like obviously I won the Champions League and now I had 2 months like off, so I mean I practiced a bit. Like I would say I started like almost a month ago, so I think it has been pretty good. And obviously I take some days off, but I practice most of the days. But as you said, like I would say I'm pretty different to the other players. I don't practice as much and I don't practice maybe as serious as the others. So I'm like confident in the way I prepare, and I'm pretty sure that I will be ready for this tournament.
All right, let's talk more about your entire season as a whole, because you went 4 for 4 championships in 4 different leagues. Can we make it 5? How important is this 5th trophy for the season for you?
I mean, obviously this was the most important one, and if I would win this one, it would be the best season ever. I think even if I doesn't win, it would still be, but of course it would like confirm it for sure, and I want to win every tournament I play in, and I also know that all the other players knows I'm the best and they all see me as the favorite, so I'm pretty sure that if I'm gonna play well, I'm also gonna win. But like even though you're the favorite, doesn't mean you're gonna win. So of course I have to take every game very serious. But it's a 5 days like tournament. We have 3 days of group stage. It's not like in these 3 days where you have to be at your best. So even if I would lose or draw some games, I wouldn't be that surprised because I know that it's like in the weekend I have to peak.
Well, let's talk about one of those games specifically. You are going up against Emre Yilmaz. Not many players give you trouble. Emre is one of those players. We know he's playing at his top level as well. Tell me how you're feeling about that matchup, because it is your last match in the league phase.
I mean, he used to give me like troubles in group stage. In finals, not so much. So I'm pretty like, I don't know how to say, like I don't really think so much about this game. Like as you said, like, it's a group stage game. It's like not the end of the world if you lose. Of course you want to win, but it would be different if it's in the weekend we're gonna play. So of course I want to win, but it's always the same. Like he's better in group stage, I'm worse in group stage. I'm better in knockout, he's worse in knockout. So I wouldn't be too surprised if I'm gonna lose that game, but it's a 6 game like group stage. You can afford to lose some games and still be in top 8. If not, then you're at top 24, and even if you would win the group stage, you can still be like unlucky and play a good player in the first round. So like it's always like bracket based, and it doesn't matter if you end number 1 or 24. Like you can get like unlucky or lucky either way. So I'll just try to win every single game, but I know it will be hard because, as I always say, like in group stage it's not where I'm the best and it's not where I'm peaking. So I'll just do my best, and then hopefully in the weekend I will be like warmed up enough and be ready to be at my best, because if I'm at my best, then nobody can beat me.
All right, well, Anders, I will let you get back to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Right, guys, I'm joined by Anders Verjgang. He's the 2024 World Champion.
It's up there, I'll be honest, it's really, really up there. Anders Verjgang, he's dropped his voice by 7 decibels. Casey the same, Richard Buckley alongside Ryan Pessoa to guide you through some more action coming from the
Let's go دابا غيبداو
FC
الماتشات.
Pro World Championships live from the heart of Paris at the Esports World Cup. Ryan, we've seen 6 players victorious or in defeat so far, 1 draw to separate as well. What are you expecting as we move forward and see more players taking to the stage?
I think more goals, I think is fair to say, especially after that opening round. But you can see Anders up against his opponent there with Redlac, who I had a brief conversation with beforehand. And he's had a rough session in terms of practice, so we're hoping he can start off strongly in this one. You can see all 6 games on your screen. We're going to actually be focusing on PH Zin up against Levy Finn right here.
And it is going to be PH Zin from left to right, Levy Finn from right to left. I know you mentioned that practice record from Redlac. Doesn't matter what happens. What did you used to say though? Practice means nothing.
نديرو الماتش ديال
You can speak
Vergang.
just basing off that interview there from Anders. Obviously, it's not practice; it's actually group stage he's referring to.
But competing in EMLS now, incredible to see him get to the heights that he did in the EMLS. Fantastic content creator as well. Now competing on the biggest stage internationally against arguably the best player of all time, Anders
دونك
Vergang.
فيرغانغ هاد العام
His history
لعب مع
can
فالكنز
speak for himself. E-Champions League winner, E-Serie A
بعد ما
winner,
كان مع
FC
ريد
Pro
بول
26 Open winner, and that's just
مع
this
ليدرز.
season. If we go further back, it gets even better, and maybe he starts off with a goal.
فيرغانغ هو اللي لابس ابيض
Casillas.
توني فالكونز.
2025, he won the E-Euros, the virtual Bundesliga club winner, FC Pro 25 Open winner, and then you go back to 2024, he won the FC Pro 24 World Championship as well. So he's a well-decorated veteran now by this point as Anders Vergang, despite still being in his youth. I remember when he came onto the scene, underage, wasn't even able to compete back in the day. But now he is very firmly secured himself as one of the best players in the world. But can he show it here now in his 2nd game of the day here against Redlac? It's certainly not going to be an easy matchup for him. We know what Redlac can do as well. But still very important to get those points on the board. As now Kika plays it into Dembele, and Vergang with a chance perhaps, but not quite. And actually, it's been a lot of possession in favor of Redlac to start us off here.
ريدلاك كيلعب في ميريكان في EMLS.
Anders Vergang, there's also the extra added pressure of the Esports World Cup Club Championship representing Team Falcons.
اوه كريزي برافو فيرغانغ اول بيت.
Because it's already a goal lead for Vergang. Team Falcons, who were the club champions last year at Esports World Cup. They'll be looking to try and repeat their success. And perhaps Anders Vergang could
مع
be a
تورونتو
piece of that
ريدلاك.
as well. Maybe lifting the trophy here at the FC Pro World Championship and adding all those necessary points to the club championship of the Esports World Cup. An early goal to settle the nerves and also probably to frustrate Redlac a little bit after his early possession. Redlac still happy to hold on to the ball here.
ريدلاك ما كيتسرعش. كاين هنا كيخسر الكرة.
And every time that Vergang wins that ball back, you just know he's going to be threatening the defense.
فيرغانغ صعيبة ديال ريدلاك.
An excellent ball into the
بيت
edge, and it's as
برافو
easy as
فيرغانغ
that. Vergang,
أسطورة.
vintage Vergang.
2-0 فيرغانغ كيضحكش.
Redlac has never beaten Vergang in any time they have competed. I think they actually played against each other in both 2025 and 2024. 2024, it was the playoffs at DreamHack Dallas where Vergang was able to win 5-2. And then in the E-Euro of 2025, Vergang played against Redlac as well. Apparently that one ended 20-10. I don't know if I believe those stats, but I also wouldn't be surprised as Dembele falls over the signboard. So down by 2. How does Redlac answer back here? Because you're already up against it now, but a goal here would be everything for him, but just bullied off of the ball.
فيرغانغ ما يمكنش في الدفاع صعيب بزاف دوزو
Vergang now with the 2 goal lead.
ديمبélé
This is when he starts to cruise.
اوكي باكيو كيكا
Try and make it a 3-goal lead through
بيلينغهام
Bellingham, but Maldini and the
برافو
rest of the
ريد
squad are
لاك
going to be there.
ديفندر مزيان في الطلعه هادي
Now the
اوه عنده
counter-attack is
فرصه
very
هنا
much
ولكن
on
اوف
here.
سايد
Good ball on the right. Is he onside? Doesn't even matter. He couldn't
كان
even
اوف
get there.
سايد
The speed
مقدرش
of
يوصل الكره
Maldini. Blimey.
مالديني كيطير ديونغ هنا لوكي باكيو كيكا لبيلينغهام ديمبélé وبيلينغهام كيديها لبيلينغهام
Fantastic World Cup Bellingham had for England
الفونسو
as they walked away with their best ever placement
بيلينغهام
since 66.
ريد لاك كيدور الكره بشويه عليه ولكن فيرغانغ ساده لي الطريق يمكنش الدفاع ديال فيرغانغ شحال واعر هنا اوف سايد
So Red Lack is doing well to not really let Vergang take too much control of this game. Despite the fact he's down by 2, he's still happy to hold on to this ball. Vergang's just a very difficult player to play against because as soon as you give a ball away like that, you know you're going to be under pressure.
صعيبه هاد
You
الكونتر اتاك هادي
have to constantly
كيكا
be switched on. You can't afford to make any mistakes or switch off at all.
بيت
'Cause otherwise,
كريسي
that
كضيعش
will
فيرغانغ
happen. It's 3.
كضيعش فاس فاس لعبتي معاه خاصك تحرمه من انه يوصل للشبكه حيت لو وصل صعيب يضيع
3-0 already is warning signs here for Red Lack. The EMLS Cup 2026 winner is currently quite significantly behind. One of the players just going back to look at some of the replays by the looks of it. It is interesting that some of these players do that, by the way. Players will go back, they'll check replays just to see kind of what went wrong, or what they can change, or where they made the mistake. Sometimes they get in their own heads a little bit as well, honestly. I've seen that before as well. As in like, oh, this pass should have gone here, but it went there instead. I won this tackle, but I thought perhaps I was going to be able to get the ball, but I didn't. Anyway, using up all the pause time at the moment. We're only a quarter of a way through the game. It's time for a hydration break. I joke.
Hydration break.
Parejo. Out to Davies now as Red Lack really needs a goal to get himself back into this game.
ضيعنا عاوتاني كرة.
Again, the ball one back and it's going to be another through
اوه فيرغانغ غيربح بشي نتيجة رهيبة اليوم.
Two players in the middle, cuts it back to one. Kika into Parejo. Finds one more. Oh, it's just flawless now.
4-0 فيرغانغ كيضحك مسخوط.
That was a brilliant goal.
عفريت.
Very well worked, very methodical as well from Vergang. Knew exactly how he wanted to execute that one. And sadly for Red Lack, he is on the chopping block now. Wakure wins the ball back, has gone out for a corner. Whips one in, manages to nod it down, but Bellingham's there to deny as well. And for Vergang now, it just feels like it's a matter of how many is he going to score at this rate. Does give the ball away though. Red Lack with a chance to counter. Again though.
Red Lack خاصو يرد بالو ما يخسرش بنتيجة كبيرة حيت تقدر تأثر عليه من بعد في الكلاسمون. بزاف د اللعابة يقدروا يكونوا معادلين في النقاط واللي ماركا بزاف وما تماركاش عليه بزاف غيكون عندك افونتاج. ريد لاك تماركاو عليه 4 بيوت في نص ساعة راه بزاف. بقى كيخرج في الماتش بشي 12 بيت راه بزاف.
Does manage to give the ball away though. Red Lack with a chance to try and shoot here, but Arujo makes it look easy really on defense.
دور المجموعات دابا هانية تخسر شي ماتشات ما يمكنش تربح الماتشات كاملين
As a
ولكن
player, he wants to win.
أهم حاجة ما تخسرش
He knows he is one of the best
بفرق
in the world,
كبير.
if not the best in the world. One of the most confident players we have in the FC scene.
والعكس فاش تربح
Last year,
تحاول تماركي الماكسيموم.
I believe he got knocked out top 24 of the FC Pro 25 World Championship, and it was very deflating for him. Very unexpected shock result that happened, and sometimes it does. But here in 26, it seems like he's found his rhythm once more. 3 big major trophies already this season, and I'm sure he'd like to make it a 4th. A long way to go, but he's certainly starting well here. There's now Red Luck with a chance to get
برافو ريد لاك قدر يرجع في الماتش ويماركي البيت الاول ديالو معلم.
A lifeline here for Red Luck.
كيصفق عليه فيرغانغ توكسيك اصاحبي بزاف.
Round of applause, I feel. That being said, as much of a fantastic player Vergang is, you've always got to make sure you are on your toes.
اول كرة كيضيعها فيرغانغ في الماتش.
Vergang is a player who can get in his own head a little bit. If you are able to get a couple of goals and start to frustrate him, it can certainly show on the pitch. And a chance to try and
والنبي
find
الثاني
that
ديال
second, and here
ريد
we
لاك
go.
برافو عليه.
Red Lack manages to sneak that one through. And Vergang just needs to make sure that he keeps a level head here.
برافو ريد لاك قدر يرجع في هذا الماتش.
Because it has happened. We've seen Vergang in commanding leads before, concede a couple, get
بدا يدير الاخطاء فيرغانغ.
lose the game off the back of it.
ريد لاك خاصو يستغل هاد الفرصة الا بغا يرجع في الماتش. وهنايا ما كانش خاصو يعطيها
Momentum now
بالبيشنيت.
behind Red Lack here in what was an extremely one-sided game.
الماتش
Suddenly,
تقلب.
if we go into halftime at 4-2, could be anyone still. Unless Vergang can try
وكيكا
and
هنا.
put one in here just to try and reassert a little bit of
اوه
dominance.
بيت.
Juvenile out
اوه
wide.
نايس جي جي
Fantastic
كاسياس.
save from Casillas. Vergang with an eye roll and a look up towards the heavens. He knows that should have been a 5th. Denied again by Casillas. And I think the referee's probably going to blow this for half-time. And will do so. So
الشوط
despite
الأول
an early, passionate and
4-2
start here from
لفيرغانغ.
Vergang, taking a 4-0 lead, Red Lack able to get 2 quick-fire goals in succession just prior to half-time. There's only 2 between the 2 players here, and Anders just needs to be very careful. Don't want to allow himself to get too frustrated as we look back at some of the replays from this game. A few chances here or there for Red Lack, but it was when Vergang then really took command of the game. Anyway, we get back into the second half, and as we join it, there's the 5th for Vergang. And already he's up above his monitor saying something to Red Lack. It's one thing you can be assured of when you're playing against Vergang is there's going to be a little bit of chirping from the other side. And you have to decide how you want to work with that. Do you want to play into it? Do you want to try and frustrate him? Or do you just try and ignore it as well?
فيرغانغ ماركا الخامس هنا ما تابعتش.
Vergang looking confident going forward.
ما عاد دخلها.
Red Lack is just going to bring him down here. Saw the through ball was on, so a tactical foul to deny it.
اوه
Davies wins it back.
ريد لاك ضيع كرة صعيبة ولكن قدر يرجعها.
At this rate, Vergang, of course, would take the 3 points and put himself up
اوه
towards the top of the
نايس
table.
برافو فيرغانغ.
And Parejo gets
6
the
لجوج.
goal to make it 6-2.
مسخوط توكسيك. قالوا سيرت ناس.
And at the moment, we've only got 6 players who have played their games and found points. Actually, it's just 5. The likes of Levi David, Manu Bashure, and of course Nasada, who we just saw get that win in the previous game. They're up towards the top of the table after finding their 3 points. But then surprising losers. Jafonzo took a loss in that first round. Virgil, as we saw. I think Nicholas actually drew with RVP Legend. That was the sixth game that happened. But winning 6-2 would put Vergang at the top of the table, joint with Heza.
اوه بصوار هنا ديال ريد لاك كريزي. برافو 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 ريد لاك.
Finds his third goal. Just keeps himself in the conversation here, does Red Lack.
شحال توكسيك هاد فيرغان.
And I mean, you can take from that whatever you will, but I think Anders Vergang making fun of the fact that Red Lack goes to his water bottle after every goal. As so many other pros do, so I don't know why Vergang's taking the mick. That is Anders Vergang for you, though.
اوه باصا واعرة هنايا. ريد لاك يقدر يماركي البيت، الا ماركا يقدر يرجع في الماتش، ولكن دوماج ضيع الكرة. هنا فيرغان كيخسر الكرة. الزردوي كيدخل.
Good work as well, manipulating the ball in his favor on the right-hand side. Wharton.
اوه صعيب. اوه نايس. برافو الدفاع واعر من فيرغان.
Parejo again on this left-hand side has really been a problem. Dembele now. Into Kika. Oh, manages to shift it. It will go out for a corner. De Jong from distance. De Jong I think he thought about maybe having a shot, but he tried to play the powerful through ball instead, and I tell you what, that is a fantastic ball over the top. There is going to be a player in the middle as well, but he's instead just going to shift this one back. Twisting and turning on that right. Maldini doing so well to stay close. Again, the strength of Maldini is just a little bit too much here.
دفاع واعر.
.65 minutes gone. 25 left to play for Red Lack to try and find another goal to get closer back into this tie.
ريد لاك كان عنده فرصة كيرجع بزاف ديما كيرجع. فيرغان عاقبه.
Too quick. Denies again.
اوه انا باصة زوينة ولكن
Lacroix too tall.
فيرغان يقدر يقطعها.
Lacroix just seems to be the final barrier that Red Lack can't get really through at the moment.
اوه برافو هنا ميسي.
Just strokes him off, tries to play the ball onto the right. I think it's going to go out for a corner in the end, and it is. Maldini taking the corners is always an interesting one. You would have thought he would be in there to try and get his head on it, but regardless, he still has possession. And a fourth goal here really would change 20 minutes to
يقدرش
go.
يدوز. فيرغان وقف الخير في الدفاع.
Doubt in Vergang's mind. 3-goal lead is just a little bit too comfortable for him. But to give credit for Red Lack, he has done very well in this game to keep it competitive in what could have been extremely one-sided with how it was going to start. Player lock to be able to switch. Space down the right-hand side as well. We'll be able to find it. Turns himself into trouble though, but I respect that he tried to do something a little bit different. If he did make that and get past the defender, there was a chance for a goal. Speaking of goals, oh, good save by Casillas, down and quick to his right-hand side. Corner taken short by Vergang. All the way out to the edge of the box. Dembele now with plenty of space.
فيرغان يقدر يماركي كيسالي الماتش.
7-3
7-3.
Vergang. And some more choice words sent over towards Red Lack.
صعيب دابا ريد لاك باش يرجع.
And it's not because there's not any sort of rivalry between these two players. If this is your first time watching an Anders Vergang game, he does that to everyone. He would do it to you if you were playing against him. He would do it to me. He's a very passionate young man, is Vergang. I'm all for it. think for a while, FC Esports back in the day lacked some of these players that are prepared to celebrate and have a little bit of passion about their game as well. Whilst I'm all for being respectful at the same time, I am completely okay with players celebrating. And a little bit of trash talk never hurt anyone. So with 16 minutes to play, it's a 4-goal deficit once more. It's going to be a tough uphill battle now for Redlac. Again, he just can't hold on to the ball. He's just being hassled and harried. And now here comes Vergang again to try and seal the deal here.
Oh,
That he does.
crazy
8-3.
Vergang.
Game over. And I think Redlac knows it as well.
كيس بزاف
It's also
بصراحة.
so different, isn't it? One player
Crazy
with
Vergang,
headphones on,
crazy.
staying locked in. Vergang plays without his headphones, which I've always found fascinating. And he's trying to get a rise. He's trying to get something out of Redlac, but he's not being given anything. So fair enough for Redlac for not really falling into that trap. That being said, a 5-goal lead is far too much to come back from, I feel.
8-3 دابا صعيب.
And it becomes a little bit of saving face and also saving yourself when it comes to your goal difference as well. Because this is a league table for the league phase. That goal difference definitely could come into play for tiebreakers. So a 4th goal would be big here if you can find
ضيع
it.
البيت
Tries to
Redlac.
dipsy doodle his way around the defense, but in the end it's going to be an offside. On the other side, Vergang also with a chance to increase his goal difference. As it stands, he would be top of the table on said goal difference with the 5. Looking to try and make it a +6 goal difference now. Dembele tries to play it inside. Now there is going to be a chance for a counter-attack here, but there's still plenty of players back for Vergang. Although has done well to be able to
Redlac
find that
هنا
ball through. Keepers off his
عنده
line
لا
as well.
بوسيبيليتي انه يماركي يقلص الفرق وهداك الشيء اللي
And
كيدير.
there is a 4th for Redlac.
برافو Redlac.
That does make his goal difference just that little
8-4.
bit better. Sadly, I think it's a little bit too late to try and think about any sort of dream comeback here. But goals are also good for your confidence going into the next as well.
كيلعب صراحة Redlac. ما كانش عنده زهر. وضيع بزاف الكوار.
Messi's in the middle
حتى
as well,
Vergang
but he's
تبارك
able to
الله في
turn one
الدفاع
over
ما
it.
كيضحكش.
Turn on
اوه
and
برافو.
somehow Bellingham still has the ball in the end, does go up for a corner.
كورنر لRedlac.
Back post can't be fouled. And now Anders Vergang has a chance to hit the counter-attack. And it is funny, even though Vergang 8-4 up, still frustrated when something doesn't go his way. Maybe a chance for a 5th here for Redlac, but Bellingham is very prominent as a defensive midfielder at the moment, it would seem. Redlac still going forward though, and again is finding this ball out onto the right.
برافو
but
Redlac.
Can he actually get inside?
وبرافو حتى Vergang صراحة دفاع رهيب. جود تاكل هنا.
Saliba is just one of those players who can take command off the pitch. Is there a 9th then for Vergang to try and finish us off here as we go into added on time? Just the 2 minutes added.
2 دقائق.
No hydration breaks here. Over the top ball to Arejo. Arejo is able to bring it down as now Bellingham wins it back. I'm sure Redlac would just like this 5th goal to try and make that goal difference a little bit better. As here comes Messi. Turns it back onto his left, is able to try and beat the first, but Bellingham again does his defensive work.
جي برافو Vergang.
Vergang will put it out. And
ترى
it is
ربح
going
الماتش
to
الأول
be
ديالو.
an 8-4 victory then for Anders Vergang.
ناخذ واحد لا بوتيت باوز ونرجعوا إن شاء الله للماتش الجاي ديال مروان.
Anders always puts on a show. It doesn't matter if you are a fan
نرجعوا.
or you
FG
اللايف
and
برينسيبال.
Mr. Chris Puckett will be guiding you through how that table is looking, with 2/3 of the competitors having played their matches.
شوية
Luca
ورجع.
Bacchio in a foot race on the byline.
I wonder if this is where Neat will start to resort to a bit of game management, a bit of discipline, just to keep possession and know that
This is
unless
game.
something opens up clearly for him to score, you can take seconds off, take minutes off the clock here, Richard, because he would know very, very well, very recently, that you give up chances late on, you do get punished.
Absolutely. He's not even skipping the replay animation.
Take every second you can.
Is it going to be a short corner played? You would imagine so. Even when he's trying to attack, it's a short one. Do you go all the way back here?
I'd say, yeah.
Recycle around the back?
Yep.
Granit Xhaka does go back towards Nico O'Reilly. Was cut out, the pass back to the goalkeeper by Danny Pitbull. The big question now is, Ryan, how many injury time minutes are we going to get?
Look at the offside trap being spammed as well. +2, so walks off the pitch. Danny Pitbull will have an opportunity to go forward.
You know he loves late drama. If you watch the East Serie A this season, it was Danny Pitbull roaring. Kalnoglu finds the pass to Salme. Wait for the near post, low driven. The space on the other side of the goal. Luca Bacchio floated into the back post, wins the knockdown. Ousmane Dembele twisting, turning. Is there a space there? Jude Bellingham on the finesse. What a save from Gigi Donnarumma. One final chance for Danny Pitbull in his opening game of the FC Pro World Championship to get points. He keeps the attack moving forward. It's got to be now. It's got to be Donnarumma once again. Neat hangs on for 3 points. Danny Pitbull, how close can you get without the ball going in the back of the net?
Sorry, we've just jumped over to this game. 8-7, Pietrzyn has scored. 2 goals in quick succession. There is time for an equaliser. But those chances at the end, Neat, you saw the celebration there.
You have to score. You have to score.
He had about 3 of those where I thought he's destined to concede there. But this is the goal from Pietrzyn. In behind, Tchouameni there.
Oh, lovely.
Takes his time with the little delicate chip over the goalkeeper. 3 minutes left, plus additional time, Rich.
We left this game at 5-8, and we thought it's done.
No way.
Pietrzyn, he's never done offside just on that occasion. I think the referee will continue to play here. And Levy Finn is in a real tough predicament here, because do you go forward? Do you try and get that 9th goal and completely seal the tie, or is possession on the forefront of the mind? I think we just saw there from Neat. You want possession, but you want it in your opponent's third.
Yeah.
As far away from your goal as possible.
From the corner, he did the right thing in going back to recycle. The offside trap was being spammed by Danny Pitbull, but then you don't keep the ball here. It's just risky. Yes, it can work out, obviously, and I think in this situation it will, because there's not enough time, but you need to get the ball into the opposition's half.
15 goals. It's a battle in the opening game. But Levy Finn will come out victorious, 8-7 with the victory. 3 points on the board, and even at this early stage, Ryan, 3 points feels huge.
Yep, it does. Get points on the board early is very, very important, but then opposite side of things for Pietrzyn, it obviously isn't the end of the tournament. It's only the first round, and Anders said it in his interview. It really doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things.
Well, there you have it, Ryan. Some incredible matches, some incredible performances, and the action will roll on right after this very short break.
I'm spending the next 2 months in Paris and already deeply regretting sleeping through 4 years of French in high school. But c'est la vie! To avoid being an ignorant American tourist, I found myself a French tutor to really help me learn the language. And there she is now! Everyone, this is Kitty, aka La Petite Sean. I had a little bit of Duolingo on the flight over. I'm excited to learn from you today. Where's your beret?
I don't have one.
Phone!
Look, I was told I'd be talking about Rainbow Six and Valorant teams today, but instead they put me with this Emily in Paris knockoff. I think I can make it work, but she called me her little dog? Okay, so we are at a flower shop. We call that in French des fleurs.
Des fleurs.
Okay, you know what? It's okay. We will try with another word, huh?
Okay, perfect.
Okay, perfect. Fougère.
Forgery. I can't wait to visit all of these cute restaurants all around Paris, or brasiers, as the French call them, right?
Yeah, that's the words.
Okay, so if I wanted to order a baguette, what would I say?
You would say, voulez-vous
coucher
avec moi?
Avec moi. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
Perfect.
I'm gonna go try it out. Ooh, this is really cute. How would I ask to try this on?
Oh, actually, you can say, je mange des gens.
Je mange des gens. Okay. Ah, je mange des gens.
Non, on mange pas les gens.
Des gens mange. Je mange des gens.
Non, on mange pas les gens, c'est une robe.
C'est. Where am I messing up?
Vous voulez essayer la robe?
Non. Je mange des gens, s'il vous plaît.
Non, on mange pas les gens chez moi.
Kitty has been the best teacher so far. I feel like I'm picking up the language really quickly. I mean, whenever I speak with real French people, they seem so surprised by how good my accent is. I'm doing très bon.
Oh là là, et puis ça y est, je suis américaine. On a compris que t'es américaine. On a compris.
Kitty, I did it! He even gave it to me for free.
Oh wow, that's amazing!
Yeah.
Come with me, yeah.
What did I get? Do we get jam? Okay, so as I get it, the French don't really like the American tourists, right?
Not really.
So what can I say to have them truly embrace me as a local?
Just tell them.
Mbappé a plumer! Kitty, it worked! They've accepted me as one of their own! I'm off to see Paris, and it's all thanks to you!
Bon débat.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
Welcome back, everyone. We have 2 rounds done, completed, and I am joined by the one and only Levyfin. I just watched that match up against Piaget. You were down 4-2, but you were able to crawl your way back into that competition. Talk to me how you're feeling after round 1 for you.
Yeah, obviously I'm very happy. I won my first match, had a great start into the World Championship against a really, really good player, Piaget. As you said, like, he was up, but I just tried to focus on my game. Won the game at the end. So yeah, obviously I'm happy, and I'm looking forward to the round 2 against Karim.
Now let's talk about how you even qualified to be here. You went through play-ins, which I know was very grueling. You beat a Gueric in that final match. Do you find that gives you a little bit of advantage? Because you played 10 days ago. A lot of these other players played in their leagues months ago.
Yeah, true. Of course, I don't know if it's an advantage, but as you said, like, I had 10 days before, like, started to get in touch with the competition again, to being on a big stage. So I don't know if it's an advantage. I feel good. As you said, I beat Gueric also against a Brazilian guy. And now I'm happy to be here. And yeah, as I said, I'm looking forward to the next games.
Well, next games, let's talk about that one. Karim is back as your next opponent. So what is your mindset going into that one?
Like, the mindset is like, it is like every game playing against a really good player. Won the E-League Art this year with his teammate Marwan. I don't know how he played his first game, but I just try to focus on my game, collecting points and going through the group stage.
All right, well, Levy, you have had a fantastic start. I'll let you get back to those preparations. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Kicking things off with 3 points is not a bad start for the Red Bull. Let's take a look at some of the bigger action, though. And I heard that you two gentlemen have some crappy rosters. So I hold this card close to my chest, my heart normally. Shells, do you need this more, or do you think...
What's Casey doing here, man? I just had enough from her over there. But
yeah, did you just toss Casey's 99 gold straight off the set?
I don't know where it's gone, actually.
Yes. Case, sorry about that. We're going to be diving into this matchup a little bit deeper here. And of course, that was the closest fight. But were there any other surprises from this set for you?
Yeah, I mean, there was a massive surprise in that round. It was the lowest ranked player here, Milkalov. What a result against a man who we were speaking about at the start. Oberon is nuts, by the way. He is one of the best FC players around. A massive, massive result for Milkalov.
Yeah, I mean, Oberon, you would not expect him, I guess, dropping the first game against an opponent like Milkalov. But like we said before in this competition, every player here can potentially go and win it. And there's no joke for them making it this far. So for Milkalov, he probably has that little upper hand where everyone's looking at him thinking that's the 3 points they need to get. And he can use that to his advantage. And what a start for him.
Now, you guys told me that Anders is in the GOAT conversation, that he is looking to go 5 for 5. But you didn't tell me he is this confident on stage. The man's a little bit sassy after each goal.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's a performer as well as a great FC player. We've seen it throughout the whole season. He's fantastic 8-4 win against Red Lac. I mean, let's push it over, though, shall we, to Samu Gamer, because we haven't really spoken about him much. Shells, I know during previous FC titles, you've said you're a massive fan of Samu Gamer, in particular the Dark Arts. Yeah. He got the job done in the first game.
And with Samu Gamer, like I said, he's for so young at his age, 17, 18, his whole game is complete. He can do it all, mechanically, defensively, scoring goals, crossing skills, the Dark Arts, as you said. And I think for Samu Gamer, he has that little ego in him, that little confidence the arrogance you need to compete against the Anders and the Manny Bachors if you want to go far. And I think for Samu Gamer, this could be the tournament to go all the way.
All right, we've got some highlights rolling out here in just a little bit. Until we get to those, anyone you want to give a shout out to? I know we've got fans from all over the world watching the world's best here at FC Pro.
Oh, you know what? I've got to give a shout out to the guys who were making so much noise last year, and that was the Team Falcons guys. They brought the vibes in Saudi when we were there last year in Riyadh, and it was amazing. I know they'll be watching in their numbers. They would have been so happy with the way Anders played in the last game. I mean, this man as well, Shells. Bonanno, he got his first win on the board. Yeah. He's got Jafonso next.
Yeah, and I think that was a big game for Bonanno because you know you're playing your teammate in the next round and you want to start off with a win. Of course, you want to beat your teammate as well, but you don't want to have more pressure on basing your teammate if he had a bad result first game. And against Cassia, winning that game, who came through the play-ins, that's a big start from Bonanno. And now we're going on to Danny Pitbull and Neat.
How did Neat do so far in his opening set?
I mean, Neat's got the win as well. I mean, he came through the play-ins like we said. I think the players who come through the play-ins have that little edge because they've been here, they've done it before. Danny Pitbull, of course, one of the nicest men in the scene, but also a very, very good FC player. Not the best start for him. But in this league stage, there's plenty of games to go. I want to ask you something. You said to me, I mean, that Matty against Jafonso fixture, which is coming up a little bit later, this is an individual competition, albeit these guys are competitors. They're winners, both of them. How much thought is going to go into that? Because surely both players in that game are going to try and win, no matter what. And look, from a Man City esports perspective, they would like the results to, you know, the players to be getting as many points as they can. But in this one, you just got to sit back and let them go at each other.
Yeah, of course, it's friendly competition. I think it's tough for the boys because they work all season together through all year. So you don't really want to play your team at any times. But at the end of the day, there can only be one winner. So these boys have to face each other. But luckily, it's in the group and league phases, and hopefully they can avoid each other in the knockouts if they get past. But it's a big game for them both, and they want to try and, I guess, have the bragging rights on who's the #1 at Man City.
Yeah, bragging rights indeed. Of course, Guga Faraz is also part of the Man City Esports division as well. He's representing the team that he qualified with whilst being here. I mean, one thing that we've seen, Bucket, is the goals, the amount of goals. We can't say it enough. There are so many goals going in every single moment.
High scoring games across the board, and we are just 2 sets in. Reminder, we are going to do 3 sets today. That is 3 matches on each stage. And of course, we have 3 days of this. So at the end, we mentioned you want to have at least 7 points, maybe 8 points after watching this opening round. Shells, what are we feeling?
Yeah, you can't really put a number on it, but I think 7 is a safe bet. I think if you got 8, you're definitely
good.
Through. If you don't make it through with 8, I'm sorry, brother. That's not on me. But I think you can't really put a number on it. But 8 or 7.
7, you reckon 7 points is getting you in that 24?
There's a few. There might be 1 or 2 7 that might not make it.
So what about top 8 then? Because that I mean,
top 8's got to be double digits.
I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see a very, very important aspect of it, which is the tiebreaker style, the head-to-heads and everything like that within this format. This is the best format in FC, in my opinion. We've seen it.
You like the format?
I absolutely love this format. I'm so glad that it's here at the World Championships. It's also nice to see tactically how the players sort of react to where they are in the leaderboards. Of course, everyone wants that top 8, but I mean, if you get in the top 8, you go into a round.
You're guaranteed top 16.
Yeah, you're guaranteed top 16. So prize money wise, you're happy, but you also have to play your first game against an opponent who's already had a game in the round before.
But didn't you play 6 games to get there? Isn't that enough?
Yeah, I hear it, but on the day, Shells, you're better placed to answer this, right? On the day, would you rather have a first game to settle in, be confident, and then play against someone who's in the top 8? Of course, if you're playing the top 8 player, you're playing one of the best in the competition so far. Or would you rather be in that top 8, in that 16, and come up against someone who's warm, who's confident, who's just had a great win to get there? What are you thinking?
I'm a 50-50 man because I like.
Oh, I'm gonna sit on the fence. That's not allowed on my desk. I need a A or a B. Pick one.
Okay, hear me out. I think I would take the skip of the round just because it takes a lot of pressure.
Right.
But
I can prep for both people too.
But having the advantage of maybe winning the round before, it is a bit of an unfair advantage in a way. But I like to relax, so let me skip around, please.
Just take the prize money. You're happy.
I'm good, bro.
How much in this sport? How much are you guys?
We're
prepping
back.
For your opponent? Are you purely playing your game? Because there's counter picks in other titles where you're making sure that your opponent can't play.
نشوفوا دابا الماتش ديال
Surely you've got to just prepare to score goals in this game.
Yeah.
Speaking of scoring goals,
الماتش الاول ديال مروان كونتر بريس.
is ready. Take it away, gentlemen.
Yes, thank you very
نشوف
much,
فين دايرين فينا
Rich, just one thing.
لايف.
How is that fence you're sitting on? How is it? How is it looking like? Come on, we're here to give predictions. Rich, I know you're a man of predictions. Did Umut against MS Tasari, how is it looking for you?
It's just such a
دوسري يلعب مع أموت.
You don't know what to expect from Dossary. Obviously, you can talk about his accolades all day long. 2018 world champion, multiple time champion across the board. However, when it comes down to it, he's also the chairman of Team Falcons. He's also a very, very, very busy man. But he's still applying himself. He finished second in the ESPL Saudi Pro League title behind that man right there, Abu Maka, a once Falcon, now no longer. So, if I was to give a prediction, I think Umut wins. However, I'm more intrigued to see what the King of the Jungle can offer us.
I agree 100%. I'm curious to see how MS Tasari is going to play in here, because I know, as you mentioned, being the CEO, being the chairman of Falcons.
Busy guy.
He's a busy guy, but I know he's been working with Javi Villar for a couple of years, but specifically for these last couple of months. I'm curious to see how he's going to approach this FC Pro World Championship as well.
I'll take you a little peek behind the curtain. We obviously, Team Falcons, this is almost their tournament. They've won it twice now. They are looking for the ultimate prize, the club championship, the top spot. There was maybe a conversation saying, you want to come on and maybe talk about that? How important is it that Team Falcons have a great representation in the FC Pro World Championships? I'm not the CEO of Team Falcons this week. I'm a player, was his answer. I think that shows maybe the mindset that we're going to get from Mr. MS Dosseri. On the other side of the stage, you can't not talk about the 2022 World Champion, Umut, from RB Leipzig. You talk about those best of all time debates. He's not really in that conversation, Umut, but he's right on the bubble. A title here maybe puts him towards the top of the tree.
He's not far away either, especially if you take into account the 2v2 and the 1v1. He's up there, but he's been suffering throughout the whole last 2 years, I would say, with
his first World Championships in a little while.
Yes. Even though he's playing good, he's not
اوكي دونك هنا غيديروا امات مع ام اس دوساري. نحاول نشوف لكم اللايف ديال كريم ديال مروان ولي يلعب دابا.
There's always a buzz when this man takes to the stage. A decade of brilliance within FC. And the 2026 World Championship once again. MS Dosseri is here to play as he opens up with Adam Water on the edge of the box, looking for angles to maybe find Jamal, and it's a finesse shot into a group of bodies. We've got an early breakthrough here between Guga and Emre Yilmaz.
رغم ما دايرينش الماتش ديال
It's the young star, the runner-up on many occasions this season. What an opening season.
ديال مروان. الماتش ديال مروان ما كاينش. ثلاثة د اللايفز الاخرين ما كاينش. كاين الماتش ديال ام اس دوساري ديال امري يلماز وديال باولو. دونك نتفرجوا ونحاولوا نشوفوا الى لقاونا الماتش تلقاوه هنا. دوماج.
Incredible.
Other matches in this round, Alihan against Abi Maka, they're going head to head. We've got Paolo Neto up against Cristobal. Obviously the match in focus here that we are looking at.
مساعد دوسري ولي بالكحل.
Legan affair between Marwan and Brice.
ابو مكة ماركا البيت.
Abi Maka going 1-0 up.
الدوسري تا هو ماركا البيت. برافو مساعد.
MS Dosseri kickstarts his campaign with Jamal Musiala.
It had to be him. I do feel like Musiala is a player that really suits the playstyle from MS Dosseri, especially with the passing playstyles and the passing stats. So I do feel like even though Dos always approaches the game in a way in which he played back in 2019, I do feel like you gotta adapt to the meta, and I feel like he will do this year. And we had a question on the chat by Kira Sensei, Rich. Is MS Dosseri on the same team as Anders?
Correct, they absolutely are.
That's Team Falcons. As we see the replay coming in from Guga against
Guga نلعب بجوج كونتر يلماز.
Making it 2-0. Guga, great start.
Emre, typically a player who races out the blocks, and a bit of frustration creeping in there.
هنا غيتعادل أمت مع الدوسري.
And Ilian from PSG team
مش البيت.
They've kicked off 0-0, only 2 minutes on the clock. After this round, Grav, every single player, all 36, will have played one game. We'll start to get a decent picture of how that table's looking. But there's so many points left up for grabs.
I mean, we have 5 rounds left, so let's see how everything turns up to be. As we see the replay coming in from
هنا البيت ديال أمت.
Making it 1-1 for Umut. Curious, because I didn't think Rodri was going to start for a lot of players in here. I did think we're going to see a lot of Jude Bellingham, a lot of
الدوسري عنده فرصة إنه يضمن تسلل.
Rodri was not a pick that I expected, to be fair. We see Emre Yilmaz making it 2-1.
يلماز هنا.
The 98.
ماركا البيت ديالو الأول.
Looks a bit frustrated, doesn't he, Emre Yilmaz there?
مروان مازال 0-0 يمكن.
item that you mentioned brought into play. There is Roger with the 5 play style pluses, the path to glory with Rodri after I'm sure it won't be the first time this weekend. Spain's victory, as Grava's been telling us.
وأموت هنا قدر المركب الثاني.
In the middle of the pitch, plenty of space, and a 2-1 lead for Umut.
Great goal, and that's something that we should definitely discuss during this whole week of FC Pro World Championship action. And it's the comparison between the likes of Kika Nazareth, the likes of Salma Parajuelo. As we see that great
محاولة زوينة هنا
only
عند
3
الدوسري كان قريب.
playstyle pluses, but they are still meta, and they are still being used in here, which I think explains, Rich, that if you got 3 really good playstyles and then you have good stats as well, I do think it's enough.
Good stats. In Salma's case, the accelerate type, the body type, for example, all those sort of small details would outweigh. You would rather have 3 playstyle pluses that are incisive, finesse, and
rapid,
rather than 5 playstyle pluses with 2 of those maybe being
بوتنسيالمون هنا كرة البيت نايس جي
as MS Dosseri levels up the top.
برافو الدوسري.
Kika Nazareth, a name that if you didn't know, get to know.
You should definitely. And I mean, we were talking about the way DOS approaches the game, especially from 2018-19, and this was a great example. That was a counter-attack, attacking on the wing, an easy pass back, and the tap in by Kika Nazareth. A similar explanation to Salma Parajuelo.
We'll keep that in actually with Yamal on the far side of the pitch there. 98 rated Yamal. Phenoms. So many different items in the team here. You've got Team of the Seasons, Path to Glories, Summer Stars, Icons, Heroes.
Whoa.
You name it.
Crazy pass هنا من انس دوسري.
Cast your eyes to the bottom left corner there.
ضيع الكرة.
Doesn't fall to him in the end, and a
هنا كيجون ربح إليان كيجون لاعب مصري.
Couple of centimeters too early.
Curious, because another narrative into this game is the use of the center backs, because on one side we do have Maldini and Araujo. Araujo is the most picked center back in here at the FC Pro World Championship.
باولو ربح ب4
On the other
3.
side, we have Jab Stam, and I'm confident it's Upamecano, but I do think it's the position that's gonna change the most in here.
I mean, with you look at the fullbacks. A lot of people are using Mark Pubil in at right back.
Yeah.
Obviously, the play styles, the body type, the lengthy player that he is. I've also seen Araujo in at right back as well. Kika Nazareth just on side, twisting and turning, trying to get back on. But
دوماج كانت كرة البيت هذه تضيعها دوسري.
Sorry, but it is a nice topic, Rich, because I do really like Araujo as a right back, even though offensively.
هذه صعبة. نايس كريزي كاسياس.
I do think
Crazy
Araujo
save.
is great as a fullback, but I just don't really like him as a centre back. My opinion. I would probably go with either Jab Stam, which in my opinion is the greatest, or maybe Maldini. And if you want to save some coins,
what about Lacroix? We saw him a lot at the LCQ.
You could go with him if you want to save a few coins, but I just not sure about Araujo.
There is
هنا كيكا crazy.
And I'm sure people will be asking in the chat the Summer Stars 99 rated Spanish items, for example. They were out of
هنا إليان
the teams were drafted.
مارك البيت بعد كيجون نرجع لذاك الماء هنا بيتسلد أموت.
Eligible to be in, but he's not selected that many times.
I don't think he has a great body type, Laporte. We just see that.
What about Van Dijk? No Van Dijk, team of the season?
I did try him at home, and in my opinion, out of all the centre backs that I used, for me, Van Dijk was the best. He was so strong. He was just physically, he was outstanding. But I will say he was a bit slow.
Chat, you let us know. Who's a player, 15 million coin budget, who is guaranteed to be in the team? Is it Johan Cruyff? Is it Pele? Is it R9? Ruben Vieira? You can name the as long as we go live here over the next 5 days. See the stats there at a quick glance. Possession in Umut's favour as he goes into this pause leading 4-2. Let me talk to you very quickly as the chat comes in with some of those suggestions through the other matches that are taking place. Marwan and Brees 1-1 at this current moment. Ilian 2, K1 John 2. You've got Guga 4, Emre Yilmaz 3, and Paolo Neto and Cristobal. Can we go to that game if possible? Game 4, because there is goals galore in that matchup between Paolo Neto and Cristobal. It's 5-4 at the moment. Chris leading. While we just wait for this pause, let's jump into it in full and we can see how this match has taken place so
Okay.
far.
Ilian معادل مع K1 John.
At the moment in this match against K1 John, I will say that Ilian for the last 2 years was one game away from qualifying to the World Championship. I don't know if you remember back in FC 24.
Yep.
At Dallas he was
مروان تعادل مع بغيس 1-1 دابا.
and it was devastating to see him lose. Same at the Illican finals last year, so I'm happy for him. I do feel like he deserves it, and I feel like he could be one of the dark horses in here in the tournament.
I'm sure if he makes it into a deep
مروان 1-1 مع بغيس.
those Parisian fans will make their way out for Ilian, representing Vitality and also PSG.
إليان هنا متعادل مع K1 John. إليان جزائري وكيون جون مصري.
He has to be R9. I don't know about that. R9 this year.
Doesn't have the play styles.
He doesn't really.
هنا MS دوساري يمكن ماركا البيت الثالث. اوه كريزي باس. اوه برافو. 4-3 دابا في ديك الماتش.
Past the onrushing goalkeeper. As we're going to see the moment that put K1 John ahead here for Austin. Umit coming forward once again. We're on the precipice of half-time with only one additional minute. Can MS Dostri go into the break with a level ball game? No, he will not. As Emre Yilmaz levels the tie, 4-4.
Great goal by Emre Yilmaz as we just saw. Dosh just attacking slowly on the wing, trying to look for the last kick of the first half. And I will say that even though it seems like Umut has been dominating the match, Dosh is still alive. It's 4-3 down, just one goal down, and he could be on for a better second half as we just jump over to this Ilian K1 John, which is
مروان رابح ب2-1. نايس.
We just see the
برافو مروان.
scores coming through the right-hand side of your screen there. Marwan 2-1 against Brees. Cristobal still leading 5-4 against Paolo Neto.
Great match.
Guga and Emre level 4-4. We just saw the equalising goal from the two-time Champions League winner Emre Yilmaz, and Abu Maka leading 3-1
أبو مكة تسل واحد.
Ali Han Lion. There are all the updates from around the grounds with half-time approaching. Grab, what are you made?
اوه مروان تعادل 2-2 مع بغيس. زوينة بعد هاد اللعبة ديال الابديت اللي داروا لنا، خصهم يخليوها ديما.
So far as this chance will fall for nothing. What's your thoughts at the break?
I will say that I like the way Umut's approaching the game. I like the way he's holding the ball. I remember the stat which was 73% of possession. So I feel like he's doing the right things. He's second man pressing well, and when he has the chance to look for that pass to Salma Parayuelo, he's just going for it and he's scoring goals. But you can never count the king of the jungle out. So let's see what happens in the second half.
Well, it's the king of Sao Paulo, Paolo Neto, the Commonwealth E-Libertadores
ماتش واعد عاوتاني.
that we jump to
كريس
now.
دي بور مع باولو نيتو 5-5.
His performances at the World Championships.
أبو مكة ماركا الرابع 4-1.
Player of his quality, not quite been able to get into that quarter-final, semi-final stage. Could this be the tournament that he does go a couple of steps further, Graf?
It could be. I mean, you never know, especially with the
K1 John ماركا
which is played during 5
ثالث.
days.
راه رابح إليان 3-2.
See the progression of the players.
مروان مازال متعادل ب2-2 مع بغيس.
because I feel like when we're playing, let's just say, on a 2-day tournament, usually.
اوه كريزي باس هنا
Bottom left corner, just
لكن اورجو
offside as
دوماج.
Guga once again goes back in front.
I feel like when back to my point, I feel like when we're watching a 2-day tournament, you don't really see that much progression from players. But with a 5-day one,
I mean, it's quite obvious the question I'm going to ask from
قالوا
you.
ان توني كان عنده الصراحه الاسباس انه يزيد ولكن تسرع.
You might not get to Sunday.
It could happen.
Throughout the 3 days of groups.
او نايس مروان هنا جاب الفيت الثالث وغيسالي الشوط الاول ب3 لجوج. برافو مروان. جي جي. 3 بوان مهمه بزاف تبدا بها.
Scrappy, sorry. I wanted to. That question was really good. I would say, in my opinion, I would say it's day 2. Rich.
اسطوريات كريزي بتواعر بالونات.
6 points, and I feel like it's the right moment between playing good enough in the first day, which would make you get 1 point out of 6. Then you get 6 points. I feel like the pressure is off your shoulders on day 3.
It's all about managing that pressure, managing that momentum and confidence.
You never know. What would you say? Day 1, 3.
ام اس دوساري 5-4.
5.
5 خاسر.
Win the tournament.
That's you.
Yeah. I'm only here for one thing. FC Pro World Championship.
وموت لاعب كبير صراحه، ماتش صعيب عند ام اس دوساري ولكن يقدر يربح. اللاعب ديجا مزيان في الشوط الاول ومازال في السكور قريب.
Straight from kick-off, Paolo Neto down the other end. Jude Bellingham, there was the finish at the near post, 6-6. Let's turn our attention into this game for a little while then.
وهنا خسارة البال. كريزي برافو دفاع واعر من ام اس دوساري. اوه هنا التعادل من إليان كونتر كي جون. اوه نايس دوساري ماركا. اوف سايد. جو بونس اوف سايد.
Your opponent pauses it on FUT Champions. You look down at your phone. You get frustrated. Why are you pausing? Come on, play the game. Play the game.
مروان مازال اللاعب مازال رابح 3-2.
These are maybe the most important moments of the match.
Probably. I feel like those are the moments which define matches, especially if, as we've seen from these 6 matches, it's really usually is a goal difference in these instances. So I feel like I'm really a big fan of just pausing the game for 90 seconds, talking with your coach and trying to look for a way in which you can approach those last 20 minutes of the game. I feel like you could, sometimes when you're playing and you're on that tunnel vision, you don't really know what you're doing wrong. And the right words from your coach could mean 3 points. So I don't really get why players.
إليان اللي جا من البلاي انز دار بيرفورمانس واعرة وباش يتأهل يقدر يربح. اللاعب ديالنا المغربي اتاكي ادم بالريح. كنا بادي الماتش ديالو مزيان صراحة 3-3 كونتر كيوان جون اللي عنده اكسبيريونس كبيرة في الاف سي برو.
Just see those runners off the ball here. Not the best of attacks from K1 John, and Ilian will have an opportunity with the mastery of the player locks that he does have to be able to carve open an opportunity here. Luca Bacchio twisting back inside. As we see the leveler there from Guga, 6-6 now that game lies. As we cast our attentions back to Ilian at the near post. Casillas with a big
مروان تعادل مع بغيس عاوتاني 3-3. دوماج يقدرش مروان يخلي لافونتاج اللي عنده. كان رابح وتعادلوا ولا عاوتاني يربح وتعادل. هنا كرة صعيبة عند كيوان جون ولكن مضيعة. مروان هنا كتماركا عليه تعادل. هاني مروان مازال الفرصة إن شاء الله. أوه دمج. أموت كيزيد البيت السادس.
On the score sheet, 6-4.
Massive goal for Umut.
You see, 4 out of the 6 games he pauses.
You were mentioning how those are the defining moments of the match, and it's 100% truth as we just see this goal by Kika Nazareth with an incisive pass coming in from Dembele.
الماتشات كاملين اون بوز دابا.
Last year's World Championships right there in Greece.
هنا بغيس ماركت الرابع. دوماج مروان خاسر دابا 4-3.
Really, it would have wanted. FC Pro Open didn't go his way. You look then at the E-League and a disappointing, by his standards, performance there.
Definitely.
Had to go into the play-ins, had to get it done.
ابو مكة كان ربح ب4-1 دابا 4-3. الماتشات ديال هاد الراوند هادو قراب بزاف.
He could do it again. There's nothing stopping him.
No. It's a similar situation to last year. No one expecting anything from him, and I feel like that takes a huge pressure off your shoulders. So let's see how he approaches it. Because I feel like if he, let's just say he matches Nicolas again in a quarterfinal, Nicolas won't approach the game the same way he did last year.
Umut with just over 20 minutes left on the clock, leading against MS Dosseric.
ومثلا كيدور كورة كيحاول يربح شوية الوقت.
And is it those now in the final sort of 15-20 minutes, Grav, the FC Pro Opens of the last couple of years, the continuous, relentless qualifying campaigns that Umut has been on to get to the World Championships that may just get him over the line?
Let's see how it is, because we just see
what a game.
scoring the 8th goal of the match for him so far.
أنا بولونيتو خسر ب8-7
DOS approaches the game.
مع هاد اللاعب اياكس.
2 goal difference lose at the moment because he's brilliant at second man pressing and pressing high up the pitch, but it's really hard against Umut because he'll trigger players and he'll go forward. So let's see who's able to prevail. I do feel like Dosari is going to score.
مروان مازال خاسر ب4-3.
The question is, will Umut do the same?
الدقيقة 67.
Could definitely do.
Absolutely. I was just looking there.
وهنا كرة صعيبة عند بغيس. مروان خسر الدبال.
In his games. At the Champions League, I don't know if you remember some of the matches that we saw from him.
هنايا كيوان جون مارك البيت.
9-6, 7-8.
ولا دابا رابح إليان ب4-3.
This year, again, just goals with Chris. But it's probably not the game you want to play. Maybe against Paolo Neto.
Probably.
كيوان جون هنا يقدر يزيد الخامس. ميقدرش. نايس مروان كيتعادل ب4-4. برافو مروان. يلا تقدر ترجع ان شاء الله في هذا الماتش. هنا صعيبة كرة عند أموت. برافو MS دوساري. عطاه كرة كريزي خرجها من الخط.
The veteran, the wily veteran. Keeping himself in the game. Have a look at this.
Replay.
واو كريزي كيفاش شد هاد الكرة هادي.
Lovely build-up play once again from Umut, just probing and prodding. Dosseri on the
أنا جوجا كيما الكيبي الثامن 8-6.
There with another goal between him and Emre Yilmaz.
Great defense.
مروان مازال 4-4 مع بغيس.
Jude into Kika Nazareth, great block.
Great block as well. The player switching first to the right back.
كريس دي بوير 10-7 كونتر بيدرو نيتو. ديرو انت غيخسر الماتش هذا المكان قريب بزاف.
in their matchup. This is Cristobal and Paulo Neto. Maybe Cristobal does want to get involved in a goal-scoring frenzy against Paulo Neto. 10-7.
وموت هنا كيدور كرة وما امس دوساري هادي شي دقائق ما خاصك ما شد الكرة. هذا البيت نايس كاسياس. فيري جود سيف.
To pull out some quick reflexes. This game feels as though it's just teetering Umut's way.
Definitely has as we see.
هنا مروان الماركة الخامس. نايس مروان معلم. 5-4. بقى 10 دقائق مروان يلا دور الكرة.
And this has to be it. This has to be the final chance.
Yeah, 2 goals in 3 minutes.
He needs to score in this Rich.
امس دوسري خاصو ضروري ماركي فطلع على بغى يرجع للماتش. كريزي امس دوسري برافو. 5-6 يلا 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 بقى عنده محاولة. وموت يقدر ياخذ الكرة دابا يضيع الوقت ولكن تقدر تجي شي فرصة لامس دوسري.
The team press activated. But with only 1 minute on the clock.
دقيقة واحدة زادوا.
You just don't know if he's
صعيب الحال.
There's no passes there for Omer. He gets away with
كان
it.
قريب.
Threads the needle.
دوماج. برافو مس دوساري لعب مزيان ولكن مقدرش يجيب تعادل في الاخر. هاني واخا خسر الفريق ديال الاهداف كان غير واحد. مقدرش تخسر خاصك تحاول ما امكن تخسر بفريق
ناقص. By the 2022 World Champ deserved win over MS Dosari and 3 points for him. So we just jump over to this Alihan matchup.
What else are we seeing then across the games here? Ilian lost.
ابو مكة كان ربح ب4-1. مع شنو داير دابا؟
MS Dosari 5. That's Abi Maka. We see on the screen right here. Embroiled in action. 4-4.
تعادلوا. نايس ابو مكة مارك الخامس. كان ربح 4-1 ابو مكة. حتى يساعدوا ب4-4.
Once the game's back underway with live action, we will join it. As for
الماتشات كاملين اون بوز دابا والماتشات الاخرين سالاو.
I don't think we've seen Embry Tilma dropping many points at a league table.
Not at all.
No.
He's usually top of the pile. 15 out of 15, 18 out of 18, 24 out of 24, whatever sort of group phase you want to call it, whatever league stage you want to call it.
مروان 5-5 ما قدرش يحافظ على البيت ديال التقدم اللي كان ماركا. دوماج. يلا مروان مازالك 5 دقائق. مروان ولي بالبيض.
As you said, Grav, 2 players that did compete in the E-League Championships this season. As for Marwan, he was victorious, lifting that trophy aloft.
انا كاينه لوكازيون عند بريس. برافو مروان ما قدرش ياخذ الكره. دوماج. اوه لا 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 حل الدفاع. دوماج. اش من دوماج بعد. برافو 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 غارديان.
And even as credible as that save is, it should have been a goal.
It should have been one.
عطاه حل الدفاع كامل مروان.
I thought I was a goal Rich.
انا بغيت كيحاول يضيع الوقت باش ياخذ اخر محاولة.
Has he gone just a second or two too early though, Grav?
Maybe, because we know how Breeze likes to play the game, so he'll comfortably pass it on the back. He'll invite pressure, but he knows when it's time to go, he'll go forward.
But the white shirts are edging forward. 2 additional minutes. I don't know.
هنا مروان بريسي. بغى غير كيضيع الوقت، يمكن باغي تعادل واش كاع يهجم. برافو مروان، شاد الدفاع مزيان. دوماج ضيع هاد الكرة. سير مروان. دوماج دوماج مروان، ماشي مشكل. برافو مروان، سي با غراف.
Nobody's happy. Breeze is not happy. Marwan is not happy. We're not happy.
قدر يتعادل في هاد الماتش كونتر بغيس اللي الماتش العام اللي داز جا هو الثاني، تأهل الفينال وخسر كونتر مانو. دونك ما كانش ماتش ساهل ومروان قدر يربح.
That's curious. Jude Bellingham, 34 stamina, not so tough.
High depth.
بومكا مازال الماتش ديالو كونتر اليهان ليان.
Constant press on as well. It's a tough situation now.
We've seen Abu Maka the last couple of years when we've been over in Riyadh as well. That crowd give him that extra buzz.
Yes.
It'll be slightly more subdued here.
Yes.
In Paris. Do you feel as though that may play an impact, or maybe the pressure's off him a little bit, not being in front of his hometown fans?
It'll definitely play a huge impact. I feel like in last year in the group stage, it benefited him, but then on the knockouts, felt like the pressure got to him. So I'm curious to see if it's gonna go the other way, if he's able to make it into the top 24.
I remember the FC Pro Open. Whenever we would watch Abu Maka, sometimes you just gotta sit back and go, wow. Some of the combination play, the passing, the intelligence. He was one of the first players to incorporate the chip in as well. It was so smooth, it was so slick. If he can start to replicate that, there's no stopping him this week.
No.
As for Alihan Lyon,
crazy.
He's dangerous in
تعادل.
every area of the pitch, inside the final third. One of the most clinical players we have.
حتى شي لاعب قتلو بوز دابا.
A finesse shot at every opportunity, it would seem, for Alihan. And he will probably be looking at this season thinking maybe there should be a time.
يلا ابو مكة قريب.
Just fell
برافو عليه.
on 2 occasions.
كريزي برافو ابو مكة. شوية.
A spring in the step.
Thought I was going in, Rich. Sorry.
Short corner played here. It's a very, very slow.
كيفون جون سال الماتش ديالو.
Possession.
ربح إليان ب4-3.
Full time results.
Oh, what a pass.
Over to Saka, and he will get himself a corner. Would you like to see a different variation on this?
I thought so. Maybe trying to be a bit more direct, but he's going for the same one.
You don't want Musiala back there as well as the last man, do you?
That's a risky choice, let's just say.
He's just lost possession there. Musiala is going to be called into defending.
ابو مكة كيسقلها كسر الكرة.
Alihan comes forward. There he's
Alihan.
Musiala in the offensive area.
Alihan ليان. آخر محاولة. great tackle.
And Abu Maka.
برافو ابو مكة.
Under pressure to play his way out.
آخر فرصة عند ابو مكة، آخر فرصة في الماتش كامل بوتنسيالمون.
High up the pitch. This could be a great attack and a chance for him. Look at it. Yes, he's on.
Usman Dembele didn't play the pass. Goes back to Salma.
صعيبة هنا.
Ball scoop turn.
كرة زوينة.
Close control.
كيدخلش كرة للوسط. فينا الشوط. كريزي ابو مكة. كيجيب الوين في الدقيقة 91 آخر دقيقة في الماتش. برافو ابو مكة. يقدر يربح الماتش.
Abu Maka steals 3 points away from Alihan Lyon.
Take a bow, Abu Maka. I mean, wow. I'm just speechless.
Gravy's speechless. I need a rest. Round 1 has wrapped up here at the FC Pro World Championships. After the break, Puckett FG and Shells will guide you through what round one has offered. And we're only one game down here in Paris. We'll see you right after this break.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Qiddiya City, powered by play.
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion.
PUBG, and of course the lovely Glitter once again to give us a bit of an update on what that looks like for the club championship points this time around.
Yeah, and we've got a lot going on actually. We're in day 2 out of day 3 for our group stage, and after today we actually have VP sitting at the very top of our leaderboard, which is good when it comes to the storylines we're talking about for club championship. However, we also have the defending champs Twisted Minds at the top of our leaderboard with still one more series left to play in the group stage, as well as AGAL, who were a team that everybody thought could potentially take the whole tournament home. They had a really rough start to their first day and the first half of the series today. Massive bounce back in the second half of the series, completely clutched up and I think saved their chances of making their way through to the finals. And they're currently in 3rd on the leaderboard right now, so we're definitely keeping our eyes on them.
All right, that sounds like a lot of action actually happening over on your stage specifically for the club championship, which is super exciting and ties into ours as well perfectly. So if you want to have more updates for club championship, just make that you stick around because we will, of course, provide them.
Welcome back, everyone. I am so pleased to be joined by a previous world champion, the 2022 world champion. It is Umut. Umut, I know we haven't seen you on this stage since 2022 when you won it. So how are you feeling being back at the World Championships?
Of course, I feel great to be back. I know I also deserved to be on this stage. It's the biggest tournament of the year. I mean, everyone prepares just for this tournament. Also the tournament with the most prize money, so everyone is just hyping up for that. I'm happy to be again here and give my best to win it.
All right, let's talk about that first match that you had. It was 2 previous world champions, 2022 versus 2018. You went up against MS Dostry. I mean, it was quite the close matchup. How are you feeling in that one?
Yeah, to be honest, it was a really tough matchup. It was 50-50. It also could go another way. Yeah, I didn't play that good, to be honest. I think he also didn't play his peak, so we both was struggling a little bit. At the end, I managed to win. I also did a little bit of time wasting. In the end, I played good then, but overall, it was like a really tough match, a good opponent, and yeah.
Well, you have 1 match done today, 1 more to go. Next round is up against K1 John. We saw him play over in EMLS this year, so how are you feeling going into that matchup?
Yeah, I played also in previous years a lot against K1 John. I know a bit about his level. I mean, he's really, really good. So it will be really, really tough. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the match. I know he's good, but I also know I'm good. So we're going to see how the match will end.
Awesome. Umut, it's so great to have you back here at the World Championships. I'll let you get back to it, get to those preparations. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Case, and congratulations to Uma. A big matchup there. 2022 world champ going up against the Falcons 2018 world champion. Dossary close, but Falcons not going to score in this round. Thoughts on what we just witnessed?
Yeah, I think for the first game for both players, I think for Uma, he would favor that matchup against Doss, but I think with Doss, you can never really count him out. We don't really get to see him as much as we used to, but every time he does get to these players, he does show that he still got it. It was a tough loss for him first game on, but he still has a lot to prove himself.
FG, as we take a look at some of the results, how do you finish with a draw after starting up 5-0?
Listen, I'm the king of that. I'll probably lose from that position. So, look, the beauty of this format, like we said, is we are in the league stage. Players will go a bit more gung-ho because, you know, when they've got the lead, they can just try and get as many goals as they can, and your opposition is going to score against you. The result that's standing out to me there is Guga Faraz against Emre Yilmaz. 8-7. Emre Yilmaz, by the way, FC Pro runner-up, EWC champion. He's won the ECL twice. Albeit it wasn't his best tournament this year, but that result for Guga is massive, and that is a player that, you know, we have to keep an eye on throughout this this week, Shells, because he's on absolute fire.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll see his highlights in a moment. Gentlemen, walk me through the goals on screen.
Yeah, as you can see, he got a short corner, plays it short. Short corners are really effective. You can see the finesse shot being used when you get around the box. Lucky to get the rebound for Umut there, but Umut going forward, we know he causes a lot of chaos. And to stop his through balls, as a clearance off the line there from Dossary to keep him in the game wasn't there enough. And we move over to this game of Powder Netter, Crystal Ball. Two Team Liquid players going at it. This was a good game as well.
Highest scorer, too, of the round.
Yeah, great game. Great result for Crystal Ball, to be honest. I mean, both players will be feeling confident. Paolo Neto, of course, he knows he's got more games to go in this league stage. We're seeing goals. That's a finish and a half. This one as well, Shells. K1 John coming out on top in this game. He's got Umut next.
Yeah, K1 John, he had a disappointing finish at the EMLS. I know he was looking to win that all, but lost to Redlac there, who's also at this tournament. But to beat Ilian first game, who once again, going forward, Ilian Bucci with the player locks, he is so tricky to defend against. And the first game on is a great win for K1 John in this one.
Yeah, a lot of confidence to be taken for that. And then that game we were just saying, this finished 8-7 to Guga Faraz. Many people would have backed Emre Yilmaz.
Yeah.
We spoke about it. He's the one who's gone through league formats and been unbeaten before in tournaments. Well, not today, but he won't be worried though, because this man is an absolute veteran of the scene, one of the best players around. He'll be confident, won't he?
With the Team Liquid boys, they're so mentally strong. I think, well, Emre Yilmaz, of course, we expect him to be winning every game he plays, but I'm sure he's completely fine. Of course, he's lost his first game of the day. He ain't stressing too much. I'm pretty sure we'll still be seeing his name through the knockouts.
Yeah, of course, and this was a massive result.
Banger.
For our Saudi League champion, Abu Maka. A huge victory against Alian Lion. This one was 5-all in the old French affair. We saw Marwan, he seemed quite disappointed. He's a champion. He's an E-League champion at the moment. He's a current champion. He's used to winning. This is 5-all. He was disappointed in this game, but what a game. What a result for the neutral to be able to watch 10 goals. It was just on his even.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Marwan straight away after the game. He just walked off. He looked livid. First game on, but it shows what it means to the players. Every round matters. And he played against his fellow countryman. It didn't manage to get the win, but of course, we'll take a point. You can see Abu Maka scoring 90th minute there. Would love to have heard the Saudi crowd behind him in that.
الكلاسمون دابا من بعد الماتشات كاملين ديال الجولة الأولى نصعدهم مع الثمانية الأولى. برافو عليه بغيس ومروان. من بعد التعادل كاين في مركز 19 و20 دونك مؤهلين. كريم عنده 0 نقطة ولكن مركز 31 ما كانش فرق كبير البيوت عليه، دونك مازال عنده فرصة انه يرجع في الماتشات الجايين ان شاء الله. دابا غيبداو الماتشات ديال الراوند الثانية وغادي نشوفوا الماتش ديال كريم كونتر ليفيفين والماتش ديال ناسادا كونتر داني بيتبول.
Who's the scariest one of this round? Who do you want our cameramen to zoom in on?
Oh, I'm seeing a few games. I'm seeing the Italian affair between Obrad and Samu Game. I think that's a great matchup. I have to say Danny Pitbull versus Nasada. I think this is the strongest matchup.
Danny just lost as well, so a lot of pressure.
But Danny Pitbull, he's such a great fundamental player, but I think playing against a player like Nasada, listen, Danny Pitbull, you got to bring an A game. But there's a lot of great matchups. Everything against Karim as well.
I've got to say as well, this Oberon game against Samu Game, that is a massive game from Oberon's perspective.
Samu just won.
The start that Oberon had, he wouldn't have expected potentially to be in this position. Samu Gamer looked absolutely impeccable in his first game. He'll be full of confidence. the beauty of this format is all of our players know that they're at the point. I mean, if you've lost the first game, Shells, you've been a competitor before. There is a little bit more pressure, isn't there?
In a way, yes and no, because I feel like once you lose the first, depending how you lose, because you kind of can get the nerves out, but of course you want to get the win as soon as possible, but it can start
Let's
to
go,
creep
match
up
تبدأ.
as the rounds get less and less.
Looks like our players are just about ready to go, and I know
شوف
our
اللايف
casters
الآخرين بالي
definitely
يديروا شي
are. We
ماتش
send it on over to two.
في اللايف
Gentlemen,
في اللايفات الآخرين.
take it away.
Thank you so much, Chris. Yes, we are ready to technically kick on with the second part of the first day of action here. This is, of course, the commencing part of round two. Everyone's played one game on this stage in Paris. They've had different times and different matchups to play. The interesting thing about this format, Ryan, is that you already know the 6 players you're playing. This isn't Swiss, this isn't form-based. If you start well, you play against someone else that's won their game. You already know your 6 matchups for a ball's being kicked here.
I think that's vital, and I think for a lot of these players, they will start to, even though you would try to take each game as it comes, but realistically as a player, I've been there as well, you would look at those matchups and think, where are you likely to get points from? And where those games that you think it might be a little bit too hard, or it's a very difficult game to overcome. And I think for some of these players now, especially when you've got 0 points on the board, you really want to end today with something.
Absolutely. I mean, look, looking across the board, is some of the games we've got chat, get involved in this as well. Which game you want to see? Oberon against Samu game. It's the 2 Italians going head-to-head. Redlac looking for a win after that defeat against Anders Vergang. Takes on Kachi. Just saw him a second ago. Danny Pitbull, Nasada playing in his first World Championship. Levi Finn against Karim is back. And then, as we said, Virgil, Nee, Hezers, and PHZ. There he is now. You cannot forget, once upon a time, an FC Pro Open champion. I mean, where do you start looking here, Ryan? There are 6 amazing games, and the best part is we can provide you with all the action across all of them.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that Oberon-Samu Gamer matchup. I think that's an interesting one. Samu Gamer sitting top as it stands, obviously the highest goal difference, and obviously winning his first game. Oberon, however, losing out.
كي دونك الماتشات
Samu Gamer was great last
بداو يديرونا في المين ستريم داني بيتبل وناسادا دونك تفرجوا فيهم. اللايفات الاخرين مازال ما تطلقوش فيهم الماتشات، ما عرفتش علاش، مي بون تفرجوا في ناسادا ديجا عنده 3 بوان. الى ربح هذا الماتش غادي يافونسي مزيان في الكلاسمون. ناسادا هو اللي لابس ابيض دابا.
The 2 Italians, believe it or not, have not had a game on a competitive level. Now they match here in the
برافو ناسادا، كريزي ناسادا، جي جي 1-0 ناسادا.
How often are we going to say that? Nasada scoring goals, no matter if it's in Germany, London, or here in Paris. He's back on the score sheet once again.
Yeah, he's probably my favourite player to watch in terms of entertainment value. You know that you're going to be involved in a game where he scores a lot of goals. He's one of the few players that does take shots from some obscure angles that you may not expect traditional goals to go in from. Like there, I know a lot of people maybe would have opted for something different, but I like the way he goes forward.
Do you think he's so successful though, Ryan, because he doesn't mind taking so many risks?
داني بيتبول كيلعب ديجا ريبريزونطا فرقته بزاف ديال لي زيفينمون في الاف سي برو قبل، دونك ماتش ما يكونش ساهل ناسادا. برافو عليه، بدا الماتش مزيان، الله يسخر عليه، الله يسخر ليه في الماتشات اللي باقيين. كيلعب معنا، كيلعب في نابولي. في الاف سي برو اوبن سالا في الدومي فينال خسر كونتر امري يلماز، وفي سيري اي سالا هو الثاني خسر في لافينال كونتر مع صاحبه كونتر تورونتو تورينو بليتو سموحات.
Sometimes it's down to luck in a way. Like you could finish top, and let's say your game is going to be between the winner of Emre Yilmaz and Levi David, for example. It could just be down to luck with the way the bracket pans out. But obviously, as a player, you want to do the best you possibly can.
نصادا في الماتش اللي داز ما كانش واقف مزيان في الدفاع، دابا خصو يحاول يدافع مزيان. اوه عندك نصادا، عندك نصادا، عندك نصادا. دوماج ماشي مشكل، مازال الماتش. نصادا ما كيعرفش يدافع مزيان ولكن كيعرف يماركي البيوت، مازال ان شاء الله يمارك. دوماج عطاه الكرة، هذا هو المشكل.
And the other two games of this round, Ryan, haven't kicked off as of yet.
Yeah, Katia 2-0 up against Red Lac. Both players coming into this game losing their opening round. Obviously, Anders defeated Red Lac, and for Katia, he lost against Banana. This was
هذا البيت ديال داني بيتبول.
just playing it back across and quick snappy passing.
ما كان يقدر ياخذ الكرة ولكن
to get it past the defender, but it is very
زقلها.
important
سي
for
با
both
غراف
Red
ماشي
Lac and
مشكل.
Katia to get I must say a win on the board. I know a point is
باش زوين تماركي انت الاول كيكون ديجا كيكون عندك واحد لا سيكوريتي واخا تماركا عليك كتلعب شويه مرتاح.
Off the back of the draft information we got, Ryan, of the 36 players.
صعيبة. صعيبة. دوماج.
Leads by 2 goals to 1. But the key takeaways they got from the 36 players that drafted their side. This is the most common 11 players.
كرة زوينة هنا من النصادة. زوينة من النصادة. ايوا البيت. زوينة في نص الشوط ولكن كاسياس يقدر يكسب فيها. نايس نصادة. يقدر يماركي البيت. جوج فوقاش ماركاو الثاني. صحابني غير تعادلوا.
Starting 11 across the 36.
Yeah, there's quite a few positions which I would say are stable.
كان خاسر نصادة.
Going to see Araujo in the team. Jude Bellingham.
كان خاسر.
This was the equalizer for Nasada, and you would have seen Virgil.
برافو نصادة جيجي يلا يقدر يرجع.
I think there's a lot of variation at.
ماركاو لي جوج البيوت في 5 دقائق جو بونس ديك الشيء علاش. يلا ماشي مشكل مازال يقدر يرجع يجيب الوين ان شاء الله.
Because that seems to be the debate, doesn't it? It's about the lengthy battle between Salma.
لا 16 الكرة فيها بورا صح. مزيان برافو رديتي كورتك بالعقل. هنا كريم رابح كان رابح بواحد ودابا كيتعادل ماشي مشكل كريم مازال الماتش. يلا نصاد هنا البيت. لا سانشو هنا مع ديمبيلي. داني بيتبول كيدير اوف سايد تراب. نصاد خاصو يحاول يغفلو في شي باسون بروفوندور. ديمبيلي هنا شاد الكرة مزيان تقلها. هنا كريم خاسر بجوج واحد ليفي فين يقدر يماركي البيت الثاني. دوماج. هنا كفرة للنصادة. كريزي نصادة. على فريكيك. على كفرة ما بانت ليش انا واش دخلت في اللعبة. Crazy.
Incredible free kick and that's the thing with Nasada. He's got so many ways to
عرض الباطئ بوم. لا برافو نصادة دابا رابح ب3-2. زيد البيوت زيد عمرو نصادة. يعمر دوماج ماشي مشكل مازال الكور. وقف بشويه عليك برافو معلم طاك الاسطوري. وموسيالا تزقلات. هنا البيت ديال ليفي فين كونتر كريم. هنا ليفي فين ماركا الثالث. ماشي مشكل كريم مازال الماتش ماشي مشكل. نصاد هنا ضيع الكور. دوماج.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Levy Finn. Watched him a lot this season and
ليفي فين جي من البلاينز لي كاليفيكاسيون ما كانش تأهل مباشرة. كريم قدر يماركي الثاني. برافو كريم. ايوا زيد البيت الثالثة كريم ان شاء الله. ما دازتش برافو كريم ماشي مشكل.
Karim is back. I mean, it's about time he made a world championship. The amount of times he's been so
صعيب هذه،
close, brilliant ball.
صعيب هاد لاباس.
There's that finesse.
برافو
Did he take it
كاسياس.
too early? Maybe could have had an extra. Couple of touches there.
I think he was worried about the keeper coming out and then he slowed down a little bit, but the keeper didn't actually end up covering that much ground.
برافو ديالك، شويه عليك. كنت عطاك البيت هذا ان شاء الله. ايوا ميسي مزيانه. لا ماشي مشكل، هاني خصو يبقى في الماتش، بقى يضيع يبقى في الماتش، مازال يجيو الفرص. وح صعيب هذا. نايس، نزقلها لي في يلا كريم بشويه عليك.
You'd need a lot to go in your favor to get top 8 if that was the aim anyway. You'd have to win all 4 games and hope that other people drop points around you, but ultimately if you're aiming to get into that top 24.
برافو كريم كيلعب بشويه بالعقل، هادشي اللي خصو يدير.
There's a penalty in one of the other games, by the way, and it's gone to the penalty king that knows a thing or two about.
دوماج ما دازش.
That's neat. That's got a penalty. He has just scored. He's trailing in that game still. 3 goals to 1 against Virgil. We'll give you some updates around the grounds. Catcher 4-1. He leads against Redlac as it stands. Hezes has broken the deadlock against PH in 25 minutes in that game. He leads by a goal. So this was the goal.
Virgil رابح نيت.
He went for a Panenka down the
3-1.
Remember his story. He beat Tex to get here to the World Championships. Oberon against Samu Gamers, a game that we haven't really spoken too much about.
Talk to me, Brandon.
There has been another goal in the game, and I believe
برافو كريم.
Samu Gamer could
نقي
by 2 goals to 1. Kind of feels like the old guard versus new guard.
برافو كريم، عندك لاباس ان بروفوندور مزيانه هي هذه. واه كتكملش.
World Championship. Samu Gamer playing in his second world title. Added time here of 1 minute, and that will do us. Shall we go elsewhere, Ryan?
Let's do it.
Let's jump to another game live if we can. There's all 6 games in front of us. I mean, we don't mind where we
سلاو 3 الماتشات.
We could go to Catcher.
باقي 3.
Even Oberon against Samu Gamer. That's coming back at the bottom of the middle. 3-1 Samu Gamer leads there now.
ريدلاك خاسر بعد ما خسر الماتش الاول. كونتر فيرغانغ خاسر دابا. كونتر كاتشيا 4-1.
Yeah, Catcher is a very difficult player to play against, especially when he's coming into this on form. Recently qualifying there through the play-ins. We'll take a look at a goal from Neat to make it 3.
Nice. Neat ماركة الثاني. كسر جوج.
Beforehand he had that penalty where he went down the middle. And for Redlac, he's having a tough time so far.
Yeah, remember his first game against Anders. Never a nice welcome, is it, to the World Championships, if that's your first game. What else have we got to take a look at around the grounds? We can still see Hezes leading against PH in.
نصر مازال رابح ب3-2. سالا الشوط الاول.
That's added time now. 1 minute, there's been another goal in it. Virgil has just gone 4-2 up at the break. We'll check in with this one for a second, though. And Hezes is one of those players, Ryan. He's just a couple of wins away from.
He always is.
I mean, you forget how many times he's been in the latter stages of an E-Champions League as PH in. He's stopped by Ika Casillas.
I rate Hezes very, very highly, and I think he's worked a lot with coaches to sort of refine his defensive capabilities and just the way he controls games, because going forward, there's not really many better. He scores goals at will.
I think this is the most I've ever seen him work with a coach. Of course, he signed with Ninjas in Pyjamas, who are again going for those club championship points.
You can tell the difference though, because if you look at his gameplay now compared to even a year ago, year and a half, it's a drastic difference.
PH in, can he angle up that finisher? That's what he's looking for potentially. Jude Bellingham delays and tries to tease heads into a trap. There was an update in our featured game. And it's a 4th goal for Nasada.
برافو نصادة.
4-2.
قريب مركب الرابع. كان تعادل مع ثاني بيتبول. دونك 4-3 دابا. ترتيب نصر غيولي هو الثالث 6 نقاط مؤقتا حيت مازال ما يكملوش الماتشات. هذا هو الماتش الاول في الراوند. نايس برافو نصر.
Anders, Nasada, Manu.
علاش ضيعت هاد الكرة هادي؟ نايس فيري جود تيك.
I don't honestly. I don't. It could go on. It could be Emre. Even though he's lost his first game, I'm still backing Emre. Nicholas potentially, and I think there's so many names. It's really hard to call. I'm looking at the names right there. All 36.
مروان مازال متعادل.
0 points or 1 point. They could easily still get top 8.
كريم خاسر ب4-2. دوماج. كريم خاسر ب4-2 دابا. شي مشكل مازال الماتش كريم مازال الماتش مسال. ايوا اللي بيدير كان صاد سالي عليا هادشي. بينالتي وعلى طاك اسطوري.
By the way, chat, I can still see messages coming through. Mystery Nation. If you got any more guesses, bring them in. I don't think you give us a clue, Ryan.
Do you want a clue? I'm worried I'd give it away.
Well, the big clue is they haven't got an icon on the game this nation. They haven't got a hero on the game this nation.
They've got representation here.
They've got 3 players here.
Yep.
نصاد خاصو يدافع شويه مزيان. برافو نصاد. هكا
So if you know where those players are from, that might help you on your way.
ايوا البيت.
Keep your guesses coming through on that Mystery Nation as Nasada. He's on his hunt for a 4th goal. Update there.
كريم ماركة الثالث. برافو كريم. مازال الماتش مازال كريم.
Now Didi, what are you doing that far up the pitch? It's not France. That would have been a given if you said France.
برافو معلم نصادة. دفاع واعر. ايوا
Also, chat, let us know the predictions. Who do you think will become FC Pro World Champion this year? Will it be a new name on the trophy? Will Manu lift it for a 3rd time? Anders for a 2nd time? Will Nicholas win a World Championship for the 1st ever time?
نايس نصادة. ايوا سكن. في ناس ما كملاتش. صعيبة. ايوا نصادة. حرك الجول ولكن ما كانش يقدر. صعيبة شوية. ماشي مشكل. شي مشكل مازال الماتش. تقدر ترجع نصادة. خليك في الماتش
Defensively it looked all too easy there. Had a lot of opportunities to push forward and create that space for the through ball.
كريم مازال خاسر ب4-3.
Offensive areas quite frequently it's just about whether or not he's going to take the opportunity to score. This game, Hez is leading 2 goals to 1. This puts Hez on 6 points as it stands. Peter's on 0.
That table will keep on updating, by the way. We'll try and do our best to feed in the hard work of the admins and the team behind the scenes of that table that is going to continuously move to league phase. More updates from the other games. Virgil 4, Neat 3, Catcher 6, Redlat 1, Obrum 2, and Samu Gamers with 3 as that one comes in. It's another Italian.
He's on
the score sheet. Hezers pulling away from PH in. Sada will be happy as well, Ryan. He has just scored 5 for Healy's now.
نايس نصادة. ماركة البيت الخامس قالك.
A penalty from Redlac.
5-4.
We just saw that penalty back goal for him.
He's going to have to make
لي لايف الاخرين ما دايرينش فيهم الماتشات ديال المغاربه.
Well, the good thing is they do get the league phase is spread across 3 days, Ryan.
It is. It's not as because as you said, it's split across three days. It's not as detrimental.
ريد لاك مسكين مدمر بعد الخساره مع فيرغانغ، خسر دابا 6-2.
See the idea as well. Salmo couldn't get onto it. The pass wasn't accurate enough, and it allows Redlac to start an attack of his own.
Number 9 minute half, so it's going to be time for a couple of chances, but they have to be perfect attacks from the MLS champion this year. Just looking at the stats and the data, I mean, because of the
كريم خاسر.
system as such, obviously the E-Champions League and the EMLS don't merge, so he was one of the few players that qualified for the World
ما شفتش
Championships.
مزيان بالضبط، ولكن وقيلا خسر ب6-4.
But unfortunately couldn't quite. I mean, he hasn't really.
قدرش يجيب
It's one of
تعادل.
those, you've qualified for the biggest tournament of the year, but you haven't got anything else to play.
Yeah, you kind of just resorting to online tournaments and practice cups. But again, I mentioned it earlier, you can't replicate the intensity of a last chance qualifier or another domestic league that's later on in the game cycle. This was goal at number 4 for Hezes, 4-2 up against Peterson. We'll jump back over to this Virgil Neat game with just over 10 minutes left to be played. It's an attack for Virgil.
اوه نايس هاد كريزي فيرجر برافو.
5-3. They're in a pause and we'll leave them to it for a second. Let's go somewhere else. What a game we might have on our screens, by the way. Levy Finn, Karim is back. I'm looking at 6-6 potentially.
6-6 كريم تعادل. نايس كريم تعادل 6-6.
Hear the game sound. Let's go to it now.
ديروا لنا الماتش. نصاد 6-4 نايس جي نصاد. صافي هكا كي كونترولي الكره ولعب سيف. ايوا البيت نايس كريزي نصاده 7-4. ليتس جو نصاده 6 نقاط دابا. كريم 7 كانوا تعادلوا 6-6 دابا 7-6 7-5 دوماج. يلا كريم يلا بشويه عليك تقدر ايوا هذه البيت ما كملاتش دوماج. هذا البيت السابع. الدفاع شويه صعيب الدفاع، اللعابه ديالنا ما كيدافعوش مزيان. ليتس جو شي كونتر اتاك مزيان. نايس جي كاسيس. يلا كريم يلا كريم بالعقل، خصك ضروري تجيب شي كره تماركي البيت دابا الا بغيتي تبقى في الماتش. ليفي فين لعب مزيان كضياش كونترولي كره مزيان. كريزي معلم ليفي فين.
He done that in his earlier game against Peterson with those roulettes and it's just
نصاده 7-4 جي نصاده برافو.
work out, but a lovely bit of skill. And over to this Nasada game, Danny Pitbull's going to have to try and get a goal from this attack if he wants to take anything from this game. It's not going to work out. Nasada can start
كنترول البال نصاده غير بشويه عليك. شمن بشويه عليك سير تماركي او لا 8-4 كريزي نصاده. Let's go.
Okay, I think that stunned you there. I'm looking at you. You didn't expect it to go in. 8-4.
8-4 جي 6 نقاط على النصاده، بدايه واعره.
See Peterson
4-3. I don't know how he got it in, but he don't care. Jesus is a little bit more.
نصاده غيماركي البي او نصاده تاسع. داني بيتبول ريسكا بزاف، طلع البلوك بزاف.
9-4. I mean, he'll be gutted that he's not.
نايس كريم مركز السادس 7-6. نايس حبني مركز السادس مازال 7-5 دوماج. كريم صعيب يرجع في هذا الماتش الا ماركا دابا. الا ماركا في الطلعه يقدر يكون مازال عنده الوقت، لكن دوماج يضيع كره. ليفي فين يقدر يدور كره، ومسخوط كيعرف يلعب بلا بال، ما يضيعهاش مسخوط.
Also, Brandon, there are some players that would have played in round 1 today that won't play again until round 6 of the day, which is
how hard is that?
كيف مزيان.
I think people underestimate the difficulty of it.
Because that is realistically what, 5 p.m. until you're going to be back on at about 7:30, 9 o'clock Paris time.
So it's a long wait, and you kind of don't know what to do.
كاميرات
in
بلوكات
that time. But I guess
سموحات.
the benefit is that you know your opponent, so you can just sort of go through their gameplay and try and dissect it, try and get a bit of information. But yeah, staying warm is probably the difficult thing.
First result in from this round 2, by the way. Virgil 5, Neat 3. So
فيرجيل ربح الماتش الثاني ديالو.
the Italian playing in his second World Championship. We saw him again, of course, in 2024. We were in Berlin. That's the only game that has concluded of this round. So look around the matches. Samu Gamer Oberon's got 10 minutes.
دوماج كريم.
Still winning that. Hezes 4-3 up against
دوماج.
PH.
ماشي مشكل، مازال الوقت، مازال 4 الماتشات، كلشي ممكن. خاصك غير جوج الوينز. ربحتي 2 ماتشات كتلعب كتكون عندك فرصه كبيره انك تساليها في 24 مع 24 الوان.
Danny Pitbull finds himself in a bit of a difficult position. This was the last goal. What a through ball again. Just a finesse.
نايس نصاده 9-4. برافو عليه، ربح وربح بفرق كبير. كريم خسر سي با غاف، برافو عليك، لعبتي مزيان وخا هكاك، مازال عندك لا شونس ان شاء الله في الماتشات الجايين.
Having a tough day 1 as well.
Well, 3 games done. Make that 4 games. Full-time result. Catcher 6-4 against Redlang. He's back to the drawing board tomorrow to get it right. Only 2 games left. 10 minutes left on this one. And Oberon Samu Gamer just 5 minutes in front of this. PH in. Kicking in that Tuzzy kit from right to left. Hezuzu got his ticket very early into the season to the FC Pro World Championships.
نايس تعادل. اف زين. ماركه في دقيقه 81.
Ties us up at 4-4.
That's that finesse shot though. You get those angles. Some players opt to overplay it, maybe turn a little bit more. But when you have the angle there with the finesse shot play style in this game, precision shooting, it is a very, very viable way to score, as PHZin showed just there.
Talk me through it, Ryan. This was the...
Some people overplay, they'll maybe slow it down, look for someone, and maybe play a pass backwards. You don't need to. Almost another opportunity to score there from PHZin. He's got the corner. Keeping at the edge of the box there, can't get enough contact on it.
5 minutes away. Are we in for a match winner here? I'm not sure if we can catch the closing stages. Bellingham with a chip, it was cheeky! Well, it's just about worked out for him. 5-4 up and he's straight back in the game. No time to hang about for the replay there.
Yes, this ain't hanging about, noise PHZin.
3 minutes left. All Hezes needs to do now is just slow it down, Ryan. Full-time result. We didn't get to see much of it, but Samu Gamer picks up 3 points over Oberon. 6-3 win. For the pro player of Sassuolo, who goes through to the next round of the competition. Added time to follow now. Hezes, I don't think will look to score again. It'll just be slowing down the game because these are a big 3 points in this.
حجاج دابا غيحاول يضيع الوقت.
Complexion of this league phase.
Yeah, 1 minute added on as well, so he can go all the way back. And can just take seconds out. If he goes long as well, there won't be enough time, and he plays it across very calm and composed.
Nice.
Game over. Hezes 5. Jin 4. And that will wrap up the last match of action. Well, there we have it. That is part 1 of 3 of round 2 concluded. When we're back from this, the games continue. Still 2 more rounds to come from day 1 of the FC Pro World Championship, and the action continues after this.
سالاو دابا الماتشات 8 6 الاولى. الماتشات الجايين كاين ان
Play is in our
مروان يلعب كونتر DFernandes.
Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Qiddiya City, powered by play.
We were there.
مروان ديجا عنده نقطة.
For every click,
يمكن يربح يوصل لبعض النقاط مزيانة في جوج ماتشات الأولين.
We were there for the years of grind, and we're here now. The proud founding partner of EWC, powering the biggest event in gaming.
شوية ورجعوا على ما يقرب الماتش ديال مروان.
Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion, reach your impossible.
Welcome over to the Lenovo Legion Gauntlet, where we have some MLBB this week. A couple of heavy hitters coming through, especially for the club championship points. So, LaFell, could you let me know what's going on over here?
Well, so first of all, we've done with our first day. Everything has gone smooth so far. In terms of club championship, we're looking at teams like Falcon, Vitality, as well as Team Liquid. Team Liquid didn't play today, but last year they were the champions for MLBB, and I see no reason why they can't be back-to-back champions.
That is actually really interesting to hear because, of course, Falcons, Vitality, Liquid are the heavy hitters when it comes to that club championship points. Liquid was second last year in the club championship points overall. So are you putting your prediction this year on Liquid to win again, or do you think there is maybe another team that can take this?
Honestly, if we're looking at how things are going right now, especially hearing the rumors of scrims, it looks like for now, Team Vitality is the strongest team out of all the teams. I personally feel like Team Liquid will take it again, but I will not be surprised if somehow Vitality is able to take them out.
Well, Vitality has done well last week as well for MLBB's women's tournament, so we'll see whether or not they'll be able to carry that one over to here. That's it from us. We're going to keep you updated for Club Championship Point throughout the entirety of the AFC, so stick around.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back in. We just witnessed an epic round, and here we have 2 more breakdowns from our analysts. Let's talk about what you just witnessed. And first off, surprises.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. I mean, surprise in the sense of where Oberon is right now. He's on 0 points. He lost his game against Samu Gamer. Samu's been in fantastic forms throughout the tournament. He's now 2 wins out of 2. And then, of course, Redlac as well. He lost his game, which sets up, I mean, I don't want to look too far ahead, a game between 2 players who are on 0 points. Redlac faces Oberon in the next round of fixtures, Shells. massive game for both.
Gels, let's take a look here at the results and walk me through the big surprises other than Obram sitting at 0. What else do you see?
Yeah, I think Obram being at 0 points is the biggest surprise. But in terms of results so far, I think Karim is back being on 0 points, losing to Levy Finn there. Levy Finn is looking so strong and on the ball. He has a little source going forward. So I think Levy Finn can be a little bit of a problem for other people. I think Virgil beating Neat 5-3. I think that's a big result for Virgil.
Big result. How about Hezers with his second win of the day?
Yeah, Hezers, I mean, that game went right down to the wire. It was 4-all. We saw so much emotion from P8 and rightly so, getting that late equalizer. But as always in FC, you have to play until the last whistle. We're going to see so many late goals. We've seen another one from Hezers. He's on fire, mate. And you know what? The season that he's had, this could be an interesting one for Hezers. I'm backing him to get that top 8, you know.
Now, gentlemen, in the top left corner, you told me to keep eyes on Danny Pitbull. He is now sitting on 0 points and seemed like Nasada was able to take care of business. I'm told we got to hear from the winner live. Let's send it to the stage with Case.
Yes, I'm pleased to be joined with Nasada, who just had a great match up against Danny Pitbull. That was a rematch from the FC Pro Open in the quarterfinals, which didn't go your way that time, but it was a different story this time, wasn't it?
And FC Pro Open, I lost to him in the quarterfinals, and now I won. I just want my revenge, and that's okay.
You got revenge. We absolutely love to see it. And you were 2 for 2, 6 points. Your first match was up against Virgil. You said that one was a bit tougher as well, right?
Yeah, against Virgil is always really tough because he's a really good defender. And I think he's just like in a really good form. Even like in the preparation, he was really good. And yeah, it was really tough, but in the end, I won.
Well, you had a perfect day today, 6 points. Is that top 8 selection on your mind? Obviously, that's the goal, to get top 8, because that gets you in a better position. Is that on your mind, or is just one game at a time?
I just want to win all games, that's it. Like every game I play, I want to win. But in the end, I see like in which position I am.
Another player that you're going to have to go through next match is Levy Finn tomorrow. So how are you feeling about that one?
Yeah, obviously, Levy Finn is one of the best players in the world. And I'm good friends with him, so it will be like tough thing, but I hope I win, that's it.
It's bittersweet. How do you go against a friend? Because obviously it's tough if you win, it's tough if you lose.
Yeah, exactly. If I lose, I would feel bad, but in the same time, I would say, okay, nice, Levy Finn is through the group stage. But yeah, if I win, I will be sad that he lost the game, but that's it.
All right, Nasada, job well done today. You have everything to go for tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow, and we're going to send it back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Case. And that Nasada guy seems pretty nice. Should we invite him out for some couscous tonight?
Listen, I think he'll be concentrated. He's a focused man, isn't he? He's on fire. And every time I see him, he seems to be super confident. And it's showing in his gameplay as well, Shells. I mean, virtual V-Bundesliga champion, of course. He's wanting to win more and more. I think we're going to see him win quite a bit in this scene.
Listen, I think Nasada's here to stay for a very long time. Ever since I came across him in a practice last year, I'll keep on saying it. He literally put me in retirement. And you can see Danny Pitbull starting off 1-0 down against Nasada. Just going forward, he doesn't seem the way we can slow him down. You can see Danny Pitbull equalizing there, a bit fortunate. You can see the reaction from Nasada. That's one thing I love about him. Every goal that he concedes or score, you do see a little reaction from him.
Yeah, we do. He loves the low drivens as well. Nasada does. In terms of Danny Pitbull, he's got some interesting fixtures, but we'll move on to this one. Hezers, it went right down to the wire. P8's in against Hezers, and it was Hezers who comes out on top. 6 points for him. He's on fire. He's had a great day and a great start to the FC Pro World Championships.
Yeah, I think there was a good bounce back from PH, and even though he did lose the game, I think it was a good confidence boost to have a good decent little fight against Hezers. But Hezers just showing his class, showing his momentum that is carrying throughout the whole season, and he's putting on a clinic at this moment, and he managed to get a win against PH.
Are all of Hezers' games that close? Are they always decided by one goal?
No, I would like to say he just makes sure he gets the job done. He does score a lot of goals. Sometimes he can increase the gap, but I think he's just slowly starting to get into the tournament as we go into this game against Levy Finn.
I was going to say,
his back.
Levy was popping off.
Levy Finn on the ball. He has a little source. He's so hard to defend against. And this Italian affair between Obran and Sabu Gamer, the old against the young, if you want to say. Sabu Gamer, though, he's looking to take the throne, not only in Italy, but in the World Championships.
Yeah, he's been fantastic so far. It's been his day, 6-3 win against Obran. A bit of a surprise when you look at Obran. We mentioned he's up against Redlac in his next round of fixtures. That is a massive game, not just for Obran, but also for Redlac too, because both players are currently on 0 points. Neat, we spoke about him so much. He came through the play-ins. He beat Tex on penalties. I mean, what a result that is for Virgil.
Yeah, I thought Neat winning his first game in the round and coming through the play-ins, I thought he might be going on a bit of a heater, but Virgil, that's a great result for him. And going on to Redlac and Kasia. Redlac sitting on 0 points, and as you mentioned, we've got Obran next. big round for them both. If they want to try and make it through the knockout stage, one of them has to come out with a win here.
Yeah, I mean, that point probably won't help either of them. 3 rounds of fixtures, that'll be, and it'll be 1 point after 3 games. Not really where you want to be. Shells, at what point do you reckon these players will be looking just to solely get in that 24? Because, I mean, top 8 at the minute is looking like there's going to be quite high scoring to get into that.
I would say probably from round 3, round 4, this is when you really need to start.
You start panicking at the end of tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night you'll be sitting at home in your hotel room thinking, what do I need to do? But of course, they got still 1 game each round and you got to focus what's in front of them.
Perfect day for Levy, Finn, Hezer, Zasada, and Samu Gamer. Who else is going to finish with 6 points in your eyes, FG?
Probably Anders Vergang, to be honest. That's probably
easy
the
bet.
safe one. Milker put himself in a fantastic position, the lowest ranked player in the tournament. He won his first game, did really well. I'm looking down though in 34th spot at Danny Pitbull. Interestingly enough, he's got some interesting fixtures. He's got Cassia next. He also has to play Anders Vergang, Cristobal, and Jafonso. That's I mean, that is a tough league stage for him, and he's not in a great position right now. I mean, look, we're looking at that top 24. We're seeing 23 and 24 at the minute on 0 points. That is not going to be the case, of course, because we've got so many rounds of fixtures still to go. Shells, any guesses as to who's going to miss out?
To be honest, I'm just looking at this big matchup between Banana and Jafonso. I think you can potentially see Banana on 6 points, Jafonso still on 0, and I think that's when you start to see the big gap. And that's as a player, when you see a gap like that, you start to build the pressure in each round as it goes on. So I think it's a big round for them both.
Is there any sympathy matchups here? Like, if I see a teammate of mine,
والعشرين
do I
they're
ever
back.
take my foot off the gas pedal, or are we going hard all the way till Sunday?
Oh, no. These players will want to get repetition and want to play their best FC on the biggest stage. We're here in Paris for a reason. It's a massive tournament. The World
شوية يبدأ الماتش ديال مروان.
not going to give any pity votes. They don't even do it.
مروان يلعب كونتر دي فرنانديز.
But these players, all of them, are born winners. So that teammate stuff doesn't really matter. If anything, probably a bit of extra motivation for him.
Speaking of motivation, if you didn't know, we have extra motivation be tuning in all day long. Shells, there's a little bit of a game going on in chat. I feel like there's already a few correct answers. Is there a mystery region, mystery country going on? How can I win just by watching?
We got to try and guess the nation, or maybe guess the clues that we've been giving out, you know, some famous food from that country, but I don't want to give it away. Am I allowed to give it away?
You can't give away the nation.
Not the name. You can give hints. She can be a good guy for the people at home.
They have a special right back that, and they won the Champions
League at one point. We're talking about players from Real Madrid who used to play for Manchester City, now doing really well.
Speaking of players,
Real Madrid,
I've got some notes up down below. The man in the middle, bottom center, MS Dasari, sitting on 0 points. Would love to finish with 3. Can you tell me about his opponent?
مروان عنده ماتش ايزي دابا خاصو يربحو.
I think the thing is with MS Dasari, when you've been there and you've done that, I'd be backing him in that fixture.
دي فرنانديز خسر الماتش الاول ديالو كونتر ليفي وحتى هو عنده 0 نقطة.
Looking at it and thinking I can get 3 points here, but on the flip side, Adida will be super motivated as well, because the interesting thing about the league stage is you want to get off the mark as quick as possible.
مروان إلا ربح تولي عنده 4 نقاط.
Kids really expect the old veterans that much. So I think Adida for himself, he's probably looking at he needs to get this win.
It looks like the stage is set. Our players are ready to go. Make some noise in the chat and keep your guesses coming. You could earn big as our casters take the show away.
اللايفات الأخرين جو بونس با واش غيديروا فيهم.
You thought we were having a great day of FC26. You thought we were watching the best players. You thought
الماتش ديال
was ready to go high up.
مروان دونك ساينو نشوفوا واش يديروا لنا الماتش هنا. ها هو مروان هذا جايب مع الساندويتش ديالو جايب مع المانيطه في الطازه كريزي.
Matching up against the two-time world champion of the world. Myself, Grabison, joined by Ryan Pessoa. Ryan, I don't know what's going to happen.
I'm excited for that game. Obviously, Manu, we know the story around him. Nicholas as well, he's qualified for pretty much every world championship he's tried to qualify for. He just hasn't got across the line. He hasn't got his hands on that trophy yet. And the start he had today, that draw, the interview as well with a lot of emotion negatively from him. Do you think having that time off to breathe a little bit could make a difference, Grab, or is he still... Because I think Nicholas, we call him the Iceman, but his head, it was hot. He was steaming.
Yeah, it was Demon Iceman, right?
Yeah.
It's tough because I feel like Nicholas on the World Championship, it seems like the day one is a hard one for him. I remember I was speaking with Brandon about this, how if we look at 2022, 2023, it seems like his offers on that day one. But I do feel like, in my opinion, because of that, Manu is a favorite coming into this matchup, but you can never count the Iceman out. But
اوه الماتشات بداو. ام اس دوساري ديجا رابح ب 1-0.
emotions coming in from him.
Frustration.
لعب ام اس دوساري لعب كونتر اديدا.
Into the action as soon as we can, but to see the reflection there of Nicholas is glass. I believe that we are underway.
مروان مازال ما بداش.
Nicholas up against Manu is one of.
اوكي دونك يلا بداو الماتشات الاخرين.
Nicholas with the analog sprint, which we love so much this year, earning a corner very early on.
Let's look this corner. It looks for the team press, which is being activated by Manu. Now Kevin De Bruyne is going to look for that cutback pass. He finds it. Vini Jr. with the low driven, saved by Casillas with the footwork. Chance for another corner. Kayosaka finds De Bruyne. Waiting for that team press, which is activated now. Like he goes forward, passing to Jude Bellingham. I thought it was gonna cross into the back post.
I thought the double tap, maybe L1 double tap was gonna happen back post. Some of the other games going on in this round. We've got DFernandes up against Marwan, Greece up against Abu Maka, RVP Legend up against Guga Faraz, MS Desare against Adida, and Alihan up against Chris De Boer, who also had a fantastic win against Paolo Neto in that opening set of games for him. It's very important for a lot of these players, though, considering if you're looking at it from the perspective of both MS Desare and Adida, 0 points. So they're in a position where if you're able to get 3 points from that, it'll be a massive way to end day one. So I was about to say day two. To go into day two. Got Manu on the attack here against Nicholas, utilizing that rapid play style.
كنقلولناش الماتشات الاخرى واخا ديجا تماركو البيوت.
I'm curious, Ryan, what do you think Saka is a must-have on the right wing?
Must-have is a bit of a... I wouldn't say must-have, but I think for me, if I was going to choose somebody, it would be Saka in right midfield. There are some options. We saw in the last chance qualifying the play-in, some people using Henry out of position, for example, or some other players. But I think what Saka offers and the play styles he has, he is lacking a certain passing play style, in my opinion, which I think is important. But other than that, he's very good, very high press there from Nicholas. Can he punish? Bashori there goes for the low driven. Casillas responds with that footwork play style.
Now a chance for another corner, taking short. Saka is going to go for the finesse.
Oh.
Saved.
Crazy save.
As well. You can see the frustration coming in from the Iceman because he knows he's wasting chances.
He's had quite a few in these opening 10 minutes, and you can start an attack here. You can see he's got a potential counter-attack on here. It's Kika who
ام اس دوساري متعادل ماركا عليه التعادل اديدا.
Goes for the pass across, which was easily read there from Nicholas.
As we just see a replay coming in.
ونايس مروان رابح هنا 1-0.
This game against DFernandes.
برافو مروان.
Yes, no celebration as well. He did have
no celebration. خصنا نربحو حنا ماشي نماركو البيوت.
Which he thought he deserved more. It was a draw, 1 point.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wants to get a win. Because 4 points out of 6 possible is a great start with day one.
Especially for DFernandes as well.
دفاع برافو مروان دفاع واعر.
And then Levy started to pull away from him and ended up winning that game 8 goals to 6. But DFernandes this season, I think he's been very good. I think it's the best I've seen him. I think in Spain he was incredible. The Champions League as well. And he's somebody that once he gets going, it's very hard to stop. But the difficult thing is, getting going in this format is a bit difficult, I would say, Grav, because it's only 2 games a day.
Yes. Even if he gets
ام اس دوساري خاسر بجوج واحد.
game and it's just 0 points, he could do it.
خليونا خونا مروان.
He's one of those players that, as you mentioned, when he gets going, he scores goals.
Same as RVP legend. Literally, same as RVP legend right there. 3-0 up in 20 minutes. He's somebody in the Champions League I backed to go the distance to get minimum top 8, and he let me down with my prediction because I know RVP legend for years now. Watching the way he plays, he's sort of.
هو صعيبة. اوه كريزي تاكل هنا من أراو. برافو أراو.
But sometimes when the goals dry up, you see when you're in those 50-50 games, for example, Guga there. When Guga's in a 50-50 game, he can come out of that with a draw or win, it keeps it close. With RBP Legend, I don't really see that. I feel like if he's normally sort of dominating up by quite a few goals, and then maybe the opponent can come back into the game. But
صعب هذه.
yeah, he's a very difficult player.
ومروان لعب مخير هذا الماتش. دفاع رائع.
For him, the game against Nicholas was massive for his confidence. Agreed. That's the kind of player that usually beats RBP.
مثل صار إذا بتعادل المركز جوج.
Draw out of him must have been a confidence boost.
Speaking of confidence boost as well, the king of the jungle equalizes against Adida. That is 2-2. We're jumping over back to this DFernandes Marwan game live, and you can see on the right side of your screen some live updates from the other games going on. Greece against Abu Maka, that one there. We saw Abu Maka with that last-minute winner against Alihan. Greece dropping the 3 points in that game against Marwan.
crazy.
Dommage. I must say, even though the goal was
pas grave, c'est pas
I'm
grave.
not a fan of Vicky Lopez.
Really? Who would fair enough?
اوه ام اس دوس على المركز الثالث.
Having rapid plus.
يلا مروان مازال الحال مازال.
So who would you go for? Kika?
For me, it would be Kika, or if no Kika, it's a tough one. Maybe Thierry Henry up top. But
He has said this as well, but then
يلا.
for some players,
Let's go. مروان جاب البيت الثاني.
did end up responding
Let's
straight
go مروان.
away.
برافو مروان.
Messi. Even Musiala on top, I think is great.
Musiala, Jude Bellingham on this game as well. No, not up top, I mean just in general. Are there any other names that you'd say for your team that if you were selecting your starting 11 are guarantees?
So for me, it would be probably Jude Bellingham on the midfield, Granit Xhaka as well on the midfield. I'm a big fan of Saka, and then I do like Mark Pubil, even though it's the team of the season, and he shouldn't be that great.
Oh.
I feel like
Alihan راب
really
بخمسة.
famous Alihan. Just
Crazy Alihan.
was in the game 5-1.
There we go, a goal.
مروان عاوتاني تعادل.
Equaliser for DFernandes. Alihan again, another player. Very good. Saw him in the virtual Bundesliga. I thought he was potentially going to win it. He's a very strong player.
When he gets going, he seems to be unstoppable, really. As we just jump over to this Breeze Abu Maka, just 13 minutes played, and we are seeing something that we will see.
مثل صار تعادل 3-3.
Breeze just
ماتش ناضي.
building from the back.
In possession, does not mind if the game. He doesn't mind if it can take 15 minutes to build an attack. And I think as a player, when you play against that play style, it is quite draining.
It is.
But then also, if he's able to switch it up and start attacks quickly, it sort of catches you off guard a little bit because you don't expect it. And last year we saw how good he was, obviously finishing runner-up. T-Bot left on your screen, keep an eye out there as well. But this one played across Chauhanoli with the finish.
منو مارك البيت الأول؟
I didn't mention him before, but how do you feel about Scott McTominay? Because he's one of the players that we will see during the whole week.
I think using him as, let's say, in a 4-5-1, one of the midfielders that you trigger a lot to get those late runs into the box, I think he's very good. You can't, I say you can't get better. There are very few that are better at that, especially when you factor in the low-driven play style he's got as well. You've got a lot of options to score with him, and he can just push off defenders. I think if you want to play, let's say, in a 4-4-2, which people don't.
ام اس دوس صار هنا خسر ب4-3.
Then I think there are better options. But as a 3 midfield, I think he's a very strong choice.
We jump back to the Breeze against Abu Maka. I'm not sure if Abu Maka is comfortable with a 0-0 result after 20 minutes. And we see Guga Ferraz scoring the first goal of the game for him, 3-1.
But he needed a bit of confidence. Goes for the finesse there. Casillas manages to put it out for a corner. I had a conversation with Shells as well about Guga before this tournament. We were speaking just about players we think could go like a dark horse run. He was one of those names because in this format, draws are forgiving, especially early doors. You can get away with a draw. Guga Ferraz, we've seen throughout the seasons, he can keep himself in a game.
He does.
And when you can do that in a group stage where other players will be dropping points, there is a very realistic chance that he could get top 8.
especially with the experience that he got in the ECL, which I think will play a massive factor in here as well.
Yeah, we're so close to getting through into that top 8. Take a look at the replay between DFernandes and Marwan. It was DFernandes who made it.
مروان خسر دابا ب3-2.
Left of your screen, we do have a breakthrough. Greece going 1-0 up against Abu Maka now.
I'm sure you know what I mean, Ryan, with this, because Greece is the typical French player that we used to face 10 years ago. Yeah. And this is the worst scenario possible. So it's 0-0 for 30 minutes. You're not just sniffing the ball, and you can see the goal. And it's 1-0 down.
Exactly. You can see all of the 6
اوه مروان خسر ب4-2.
We're jumping over to
دوماج.
this featured one, of course. Manu losing, but not for long. Finesse shot into that.
اوه نيكولا تقلب عليه.
Salma,
تعادل دابا.
one of the best players to have going forward. But quickly going on to that about Greece with the way he plays, I need to take a closer look. But during the play-ins, he was one of the very few that selected Benitez in attack. He had, I believe it was Benitez, Kika, Salma.
Okay.
And I think it was either Vicky Lopez or Pina. It was all of the Spanish Liga F forwards who are nimble on the ball. They can turn quickly. We saw Texi built his team around players that, obviously with Lempy, they're faster off the ball, but they don't dribble as nimbly as, like, let's say, somebody that's controlled or explosive. So I wonder if that's the reason why he selected those 4 attackers.
Great defense coming in from Manu Bashar as we see the replay coming in from the DFernandes against Marwan. Luque Bacchio with the Borro scoop turn to make it 4-2. And we jump back. Last kick of the first half. Yes, it's a finesse and it goes in. Manu Bashar making it 3-2. And it seems like the world champ is on the way.
That just feels like a very typical Team Liquid goal, because you see that from Levy, you see it from Emre and everybody else from Team Liquid, where they get the angle. They've got so many bodies around that player in possession. They can pass it short, they can do whatever, trigger a run, dink it for a knockdown, but then they ball roll to open the angle for the finesse. And it's like, you know, as a player, when you're defending it, it's a goal. Basically, you close your eyes because you know you.
اوه نايس مروان مارك البيت الثالث.
Right there, finesse your angle, opens up the keeper. You're not going to get near it.
يلا مروان يلا راه مازال الماتش.
A block somehow kicks in.
سير مروان البيت الرابع. اوه واه بيت كريزي. صافي مزيان تماركا مزيان دوز راه اللي مورا.
That's one of those goals in which, especially after losing the first game, and you can see this one, you had to be so strong mentally to keep on holding.
مسكين.
I don't even want to
واه على بيت. بغى يجليه ويصدق الحارس. لا لا.
One thought, goal is a goal. I want to ask you about the lengthy use on the wings.
اوه صايبة برافو راوخو. طاك الواعر.
Are you a fan of the controlled, explosive, lengthy now in July? How do you feel like?
For me personally, I get why people use lengthy wingers, especially when you're triggering those runs, and then you can play that through ball from anywhere. And for example, Luque Bacchio in this position here, he's not going to get caught, and he's got the play styles to score and the stats, so I get it. But for me personally, what I would prefer, I prefer more nimble
DFernandes كيلعب.
Unless it's on, I've got a bit of a bias towards Henry on the game. I don't think. But
برافو مروان.
I would rather somebody more nimble.
برافو.
But I do get why players would opt for.
جو نماركيو قبل البريمير ميد. اوه اليهان 6-1.
Alihan line leads against Cristobal. Going on to that question, what is your preference when you're building a team? Do you factor in the lengthy a lot on the wings?
I would say I used to do it, but now I don't anymore. Because I feel like there is a lot of players right now who are controlled with 99 pace, which if you look for lengthy, you wouldn't have 99 dribbling, especially with the shoe attribute. So I feel like even though it's important, if I could use Salma, I would probably use her. I'll probably use one lengthy and then one controlled on the other side.
Yeah.
But
نايس مروان تعادل 4-4. ديك البيت اللي شفنا قبيله صحابني يلاه ماركت صار شفنا بيت قبيله وي
Scored to make it 4-2 against Nicholas. There is a world where Nicholas could end day one with 1 point. This game, to our RVP legend, of course, did play against Nicholas in his opening game. He could be in a very strong position, 4 points from a possible 6 if you can see this out. Guga Faraz, though, will not go down without a fight.
As we see the replay coming in.
هنا نيكولا تعادل مع مانو. مانو زاد البيت الرابع.
Nice. One of those goals that Nico doesn't concede when he's playing well.
I was going to say that, yeah. Very uncharacteristic offside trap there from Nicholas. Oh. You know what it is? You can see from this corner and you just think, really, that's not your day. See the live update. So he was 4-3 up against the king of the jungle, MS Sorry. I'd love to be able to jump into that live when we can. Holden after this attack.
RBP looking for a 5th goal now. It's going forward as we just see the replay.
مانو زاد الرابع زاد الخامس.
Bellingham to make it 5-2.
نيكو تعادل. نيكو سيسي 5.
And his coach fair because something's not going right at the moment.
Yep, exactly.
مروان مازال تعادل.
On the elbow and the results at the bottom of your screen.
نص هذا هو الثاني.
5-2 down against Manu. RBP legend, of course, you can see on the screen 4-2 up. DFernandes and Marwan 4-4. Adida up 4-3 against MS Sorry. 1-1 between Brees and Abu Maka, and Alehan Lion 7-3.
Wow. Massive game from Alihan because he needed to win. I mean, he's not an experienced player. So
مروان خاسر.
Finishing day 1 with
5-4 دوماج.
Catastrophic for him. So
يلا مروان يلا خص ضروري يربح هذا الماتش.
But he needs those 3 points. So we just jump over now to the main screen as you can see.
6-4.
I want to talk about the Nicolas Manu match, but we will jump.
MS دوساري تعادل هنا.
MS Dosari against Adida.
Did see or did miss a goal, in fact, from MS Sorry, and he's on the attack here. Keep an eye on Jude Bellingham. Fakes the player look, twisting and turning. Can he get the ball across there? Rodri stepping in, intercept plus. This was the goal there. McTominay, we spoke about playing it. Nice little cancellation there to Yamal. That was lovely.
Oh, that's the stuff that the king of the jungle can still do. But he has to score another goal because if he finishes up day 1 with 1 point, I'm sure he won't be happy.
Of course not. It just feels weird though. Like I can't explain it. We were around obviously playing when Emissary was running rampant, and it's like for those that are new to the scene, they may just think, "Wow, this guy is not as good as what people." But I don't. It's hard to explain. You know what I mean? Like I'm watching it and I'm thinking. Obviously, the game's changed over the years, but what MS Sorry was doing was ridiculous.
Oh, great defense by Upamecano. But yeah, Ryan, I mean, for me, there were 2 different MS Dosaris. Like, during the regular season, you could maybe get a win.
Yeah.
He was really good. But then, when he played at the World Championship, it was the same as watching Rafa Nadal at Roland Garros. Like, you
can't get near it. And the thing is, what I think is a bit difficult, I think also for Nicholas as well, they defensively were really good with the manual pressing, and that's what set apart them.
Yes.
But now with team press and the offside trap automatically kicking in if you have a high depth, for example, it is a lot easier for players that aren't that good at defending to get away with stuff. You see what I mean? Brees there making it 2-2.
أبو مكة تعادل. Oh, nice. MS دوساري مركز الخامس.
Bottom left, MS Sorry taking the 5-4 lead now against Adida.
And we're not playing at Riyadh, but you can see the Team Falcon fans turning up.
Yeah, it's a tough goal for Nicholas to concede there. It was
ديروا مروان نشوفوا مروان.
get that rebound to fall in his favor.
مروان 5-6. يلا مروان مازال بيت.
Bottom right is a pretty much done deal.
ايوا مروان هذا البيت هذا.
Against Cristobal
ما
there.
دازتش.
Brees Abu Mak is probably the closest one, 2-2, but we're jumping over to DFernandes up against Marwan.
يلا مروان.
think we last left at 4-4, and we've seen quite a few goals since then, Grav.
Yes, they both need the win.
ايوه
I'm sure
مروان.
they won't be happy with the draw, so DFernandes has to defend.
زوينة كريزي. Let's go مروان.
Marwan
سس.
scored 6-6, and I feel like the right stick switching wasn't good enough from the Portuguese player. Of course, we won't mention the tactical changes they're doing because they can hear us over there at the stage, but
These moments, as a player, where you know you're in a tough game, it's back and forth. What do you do to try and get the ascendancy here? Is it as simple as trying to make changes, being a bit more composed? There, speak of composed, you would have seen top right, beautiful chip.
Yes.
For Breeze to take the lead against.
وابو مكة خسر ب3-2 كونتر بغيس.
It's a tough one when you're in there, because sometimes the best thing to do is to not touch a thing, but there are some times that you need to do some tactical changes. So that's why I really trusted my coaches back in the days, Ryan. Because if you were one of those wonder players that really could analyze what was happening when they were playing, I'm thinking about Emes Dosari, I'm thinking about Nico, Cecinho. I wasn't like that. That's why I really trusted my coach, but it really depends. What about you?
Same as you. I'll be honest. Same as you. It's very easy to get tunnel vision. We did actually see a goal from Guga that then got cancelled out pretty much straight away down the other end. RVP legend restores his 2-goal lead. He seems very relaxed, though. Very, very relaxed in a tough game.
We just jump over.
مروان تعادل 6-6.
Emes Dosari is leading the game 5-4.
قبالي تعادل انا كنسى.
We jump
البيت هذا البيت السابع.
Is Marwan.
لا يمكن.
How
على
lucky for
بيت.
Marwan. DFernandes needs to score
يمكنش.
this counter-attack, looking for the player lock. Florian Wirtz twisting, turning, looking for the passing to Luke.
شو مشكلة مروان؟ زيد جيك فرصة أخرى جيك. ماركيتي بيت بالزهر وضيعتي بيت بالزهر دونك ماشي مشكل تعادل. ما دازتش.
Well defended as well by DFernandes, and it seems like both players are struggling at the moment, Ryan.
Yeah, trying to get a foothold on this game now. For DFernandes, it'll be important to get his first points on the board. Very aggressive sidetrack there as well.
Yes. I think you touched onto a great point before.
صعيبة خايبة. مروان خاسر.
Player switch coming in from the French player, and DFernandes was able to capitalize on that mistake to make it 7-6.
Marwan realized that as well. So if you look at his face in the player cam, Isaki instantly knew he made a mistake and he got punished straight away. Tried to slide tackle to redeem himself as well.
مش مشكل هاني مروان مازال الحال.
And now DFernandes talking with Armando, his coach, because he knows that goal was important, but he's been conceding too many goals on the defense, so he needs to change something. Maybe it's a change of formation to the 4-5-1 or the 4-1-4-1, or maybe he needs to go forward and score more goals.
Been a lot of goals, and I think I remember hearing from Nicholas earlier on in the season where he said this is one of those years where it feels like going forward is going to be the difference maker. Like being able to be comfortable in front of goal is going to separate a good player from a great player. We see, for example, DFernandes, he conceded 8 goals in his first game against Levi David. A lot of players are conceding a lot. And Manny Bature also scored 5 in his first game. He's up 6-3 now against Nicholas. He can slow it down because he knows Nicholas will have to chase him. And when Nicholas will chase, it will leave spaces like this.
Wow. I mean, just the players reaching from Manu Bashar, the aggression from Maldini as well. He's playing a perfect second half at the moment. I will say That's a big mistake. I will say I'm a big fan of his squad selection, Manus. That's probably what I will definitely use in here.
Just a bit lucky. Gets the finesse shot
Ooh,
there. That could be
crazy
way back in
piece.
the game for Nicholas. 6-4.
Do you think it's doable?
100% doable. The issue is not just scoring the 2 goals in 10 minutes. That's very possible. It's just if you stop Manu scoring again. I think that's the biggest problem here. I know Nicholas has made incredible comebacks in the past. He's been on the other end of things, always had to see out games late on against on-rushing players, but Manu's done it plenty of times as well. This is it. He should have probably won the ball back there. It bundled into Nicholas, and he even knew there he got very lucky.
It was good defending by Maldini, especially with the manual tackle, but
agreed.
Sometimes it happens.
Marwan.
Wow. 7-7.
نايس مروان تعادل 7-7.
Crazy finish at the near post. Hold on a second, Vinny can't get.
Good pass. Good pass for Manu.
هذا هو الماتش هذا هو الماتش.
DFernandes Marwan game. I do feel like a goal is coming, Ryan.
Let's go مروان, let's go.
This attack, Marwan just trying to find space. Gets the ball to Xhaka.
ايه وش فينس.
It's scary when defending, especially at this stage of the game, because everyone's got finesse shot. Whether it's the playstyle plus or the regular version. Look at the runner down the middle, can't find him, twisting inside, and it's beautiful. Verts.
Crazy.
It was going to be a goal, huge save.
برافو مروان, سيف واعر.
That final result there, the king of the jungle's on his feet. He has defeated Adida 5-4.
What a win for him.
What a win for him and Team Falcons. As well,
Massive.
3 points on the board. Because we know how important the club championship
MSD صار يربح.
for them. I know it's only day 1, but still, you want to be in amongst the conversation to get
صار ماتش 5-4.
Look at this counter attack.
ايوه مروان, الفرصة هذه البيت. كفرة وحمراء.
Has to be, it's last man.
كفرة وحمراء.
Is it? It has to. Yeah, it's
a red
top left.
card.
Has to be red.
Is this going in, Ryan?
This is the thing. These are bankers. These free kick opportunities. He's paused it.
I'm sure he touched
كفرة
it.
وحمراء.
It came from behind slightly. Don't know if it's possible to see it again, but that's a big moment in this game because if he scores from this free kick as well, wow.
And that's something that I wanted to talk about. The play before, how Marwan is using the cam and the 2 strikers. And that's something that you don't see in competitive scene now.
That's like our days back there. I love that. I love it. I absolutely love it. This game, Reese, Abu Maka 3-3.
بوما 3-3 مع بغيس.
The tempo was just a lot slower in this one compared to all the other games, but maybe we've joined it at the perfect time. Jump back over though. Here we go.
كفرة ديال مروان. مش قادر يماركي بحال بيت اللي ماركا نصاده قبيله. اتريها في دوزيام بوطو او ضرب في اللاعب. واللي ديالك. واه على شويه. دوماج. ليتس جو دابا غيلعب مرتاح لحقاش نورمالمون عنده حمراء. دي فرنانديز. هذه هي الفرصه مروان.
What do you do? Slow it down and maybe trigger one midfielder. Don't trigger too many going forward. I don't know where the red card is.
خاصو يشد شي كونتر اتاك. شفتي 3 الدفاع عند دي فرنانديز.
This is, or was I should say, the equalizer for Abu Maka to make it 3-3.
يلا هذه طلعه.
The scary thing is because we would have been
سير
in games
مروان.
where our opponent got a red card and we got a red card. You feel under pressure if you're Marwan here, and sometimes that could work against him. Oh, Mazraoui with a very crucial step. You feel like you have to win now.
Yes.
مزراوي تلعب مزراوي.
Push bodies, but you do something silly. Yeah, it's difficult.
لا كضيع بزاف الكواري مروان مزروب.
Do you think he takes the last kick?
If I'll be honest, if I'm DFernandes here,
he's inviting the pressure now.
I'm playing for last attack. I'm telling you right now, in a group format, I'm 100% slow.
Yes. But he's going forward. He's attacking with the fullback as well, looking for the 2v1s, and this is a great attack now.
He's in a great position.
برافو مروان. يالي 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 يالي. آخر محاولة مروان.
And it allows the last attack to probably fall in favor of Marwan here. Tense moments, he knows there probably will be 2 minutes added on.
يلا مروان غير هالطلعة هذه.
Can he get a proper attack here? Doué on this near side gets it over to Elise. There's so many options here. Goes for
لا علاش كتزرب؟
He's giving it away. Granit Xhaka.
He will beat. الله. آخر محاولة.
He has to score.
يمكنش ما تجيش فرصة واحدة أخرى. كنت راشد لعابة. أراوخو. دوماج مروان ضيع الربح. التعادل الثاني والنقطة الثانية لمروان. ضيع الربح.
The other side is DFernandes with a red card. You take the point, I'll be honest.
You take the point. You definitely take the point with 10 men.
Dommage.
So jumping into this Breeze against Abumaka, you can see the frustration kicking in from Breeze. So
I think that game's done as well. From what I can see, 3-3.
It is 3-3.
He was leading late on. Abumaka with a late equalizer. Been a lot of action in this round, but there's still the last fixtures of round 2 to be played after this break. Do not go anywhere.
مروان دابا بجوج نقاط في المركز 22. هو بغيس حتى هو بجوج نقاط. دونك سالاو الماتشات ديال المغاربة. نصادا العالم الكاملة 6 نقاط، 2 ديال الرباحات. هو في المركز الثاني دابا، مازال 8 الماتشات تيتلعبوا، دونك يقدر ينزل، ولكن راه في بوزيشن خير. مروان 2 نقاط بعد ما تعادل 2 ماتشات، وكريم خسر 2 ماتشات. دونك واحد ربح 2 ماتشات، واحد خسر 2 ماتشات، واحد تعادل 2 ماتشات. كان هذا هو النهار الاول ديال المغاربه في ال EWC 26 وورد تشامبيونشيب. غادي نوقفوا اللايف هنا ونرجعوا ان شاء الله غدا في الماتشات ديال الراوند الثالث. شكرا اخوتي ونتشافوا. تشاو تشاو.
Here over at stage 4 we have TFT happening.